Hello, I'm Epidemiology Toy Cat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today I'm gonna be mining a iceberg because you know what? I need lots of ice when I make projects that involve a lot of it, like right over here, my ice islands that are made from ice and snow. When I have the blue ice highways and everything else in the world, I need ice for that. And in particular, right now, I've been going through a lot of ice, and let's get some in a non-traditional way because the easiest way to get packed ice, the easiest way to get blue ice is of course to mine an iceberg biome. But what I've actually already done is mine my iceberg biome to the point where there is no longer really an iceberg biome. I mean, the biome itself exists, sure, like the temperature around here is the same, etc. But as far as the structures themselves, they no longer exist, and that actually does cause a problem because it means that if we want to get ice, we kind of have to make it ourselves. And that sounds kind of weird, but let me explain. So this used to be a very tall mountainous biome made with lots of icebergs, but now it is flattened, except once we flatten down a layer, what actually ends up happening is the water freezes right above it, meaning you can kind of flatten as many layers as you like. So if I remove right here a bunch of ice, what you're going to see happen literally seconds afterwards, because it's a very cold biome in the Minecraft temperature system, is lots of these blocks on the ground will start freezing up. And what we're going to do, the plan at least, is to use these blocks that then respawn later, because we can pick up all this ice right now, still get a bunch of ice, and then we can pick up the blocks later, and we can mine the iceberg biome down a layer below sea level. I don't know why, but I'm just obsessed with this as a project idea. Like, why don't we mine all of the iceberg down so we have an iceberg biome that's slightly inverted from the sea around it? To show you a better example, if we just mine all the way out to the sea over here, we could have an iceberg biome which consists entirely of blocks at this layers, and I just find that beautiful. Also, since we mined the icebergs, the efficiency and silk touch combination now actually works on packed ice, which means even when you've got packed ice in the ground, which is a pretty hard to mine block normally, if you've got, say, efficiency 4 right here, what you can actually do is you can mine it pretty much instantly, and it's really beautiful just how fast you can mine like this. And yeah, we're gonna be taking advantage of that in today's video. That'll look really cool, says Cloud Stone Stacy. Thank you. I actually do think this is one of those ideas that, like, worst case gives me a lot of ice, but best case it's hopefully going to do something cool. That's always my plan with, like, resource extraction in Minecraft, because there's two kind of phases in the game. You know, like, there's the phase of getting the resources you want and then using the resources on something. But because I play on this world so much, I just figure, like, you know what, why don't we try and make as many resource, extraction things also a kind of weird project in themselves. There's a beauty in seeing, like, an entirely flattened iceberg biome, in my opinion. And we're going to see that beauty a little bit more today. You could dry the whole ocean that way, says Imja. Yeah, that's the cool thing, actually. Like, a cold ocean is much easier to get rid of because getting rid of water with sponges is super slow and inefficient. Mining, oh wow, you can see it freezing in front of us. Mining ice with a efficiency pickaxe is already, honestly, mining ice at all. Once you go past, like, efficiency 2, it doesn't really matter because it's instant mining. That means we can mine as many blocks a second as we want. Just, it's all about capacity being the limiting factor. But yeah, once you go past a certain level of efficiency, it is much faster to mine with a pickaxe than it is to use sponges. Especially because sponges have to be dried, etc. It's a fun thing, in my opinion. So, yeah, you could keep going down like the seafloor. Yeah, I did consider that as well as an idea. Like, what if we kept on going down and down and down and down? It's a fun idea. I definitely think that, like, I want to do it. I considered actually, like, non-stop, like, let's be on board with that. But I'm trying to stop myself getting on board of too many insane projects. Like, for every insane project I pick up, I try to finish one. And it's been a while since we finished one, which is actually why we're collecting the ice today. So, all makes sense now, doesn't it? But yeah, we're going to leave an ice layer around the sides here so that the water doesn't pour in. Besides that, though, we're going to let it just kind of all come in. Also, you should fill a desert with ice. That would be a perfect contrast, wouldn't it? It doesn't make sense to me that, like, not only does ice not freeze in a desert, but ice doesn't freeze in the nether. You'd figure that, like, a cool Minecraft mechanic would be that certain blocks only properly work in some places. But no, ice will melt if you put, like, a torch too close to it. Like, I can show you that right now if you want to see it. But ice won't melt if it's in literally the nether. And that's actually something I'm taking advantage of for my current survival project. But yeah, survival and chill. How's that sound, friendos? So what's the plan, says Elia Abigail. We're going to mine the entire iceberg biome down a layer. We're going to remove all the blocks, and then it's going to freeze up below us, just like it's done right here. I mined all these blocks just now, and now the ice is there. And then we'll be able to do it again if we want to, but mostly it's just like flattening out the iceberg by bringing the iceberg down a layer. Your super chat notifs are muted. I did wonder, actually. I thought to myself, like, you know what? There hasn't been one yet, but you know, it's okay. Thank you for the heads up. Oh, thanks so much, Cat Gale, for the £5. And then it seems as though followed up by £1. Yeah, there's something is turned off today. I'm going to check what that is right now. Thank you for letting me know. I think what it is some days it's, like, super slow to react. I bet that could be responsible here. Like, what will happen is in some amount of time, it will just show up at once. Or maybe it won't. Maybe I'm crazy. Let me see. Okay, that one. Okay, so I'll try refreshing it just to see if it happens now. I think I might have, oh, there we go. Oh, it's muted in the sense that it's not making a noise. I see it on the screen now, though. Oh, no, wait, that's something else that I just turned on. That's... Did you see that, by the way? There was like a boss bar that appeared above it. I'm so confused. You know, I have many questions about the world. And one of those questions is why there's no noise coming from that one layer. So I'll get right on that. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's not that I'm muted. It's that I was doing some subtitles earlier. So I changed my... There we go. Okay, internet. Now I can hear the noises that you send my way. Minecraft greater than Netflix. Oh, here's the thing, right? Playing Minecraft right now is an activity you can do and argue you are boosting the world. You are making a difference in the world by choosing to play Minecraft instead of, you know, whatever form of data streaming you're thinking about. Like Netflix is the biggest example because it's like, you know, it's HD videos at high bit rates, right? But like, if you watch Netflix, you'll use something like 3 gigabytes. 3 gigabits, I should say. Very different thing. But you use like 3 gigabits of data per hour. Whereas playing Minecraft will use, you know, like literally kilobits. Or if you're playing online with people, max like, like 5, 10 megabits. Basically what I'm trying to say is you can save the internet, which right now is essential for all the people who need to stay inside. I think that's kind of beautiful, personally. I think that's kind of beautiful. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Now it should show up and it should make a noise. Hey, there we go. We did it. I troubleshot. Troubleshooted in past tense doesn't seem like it should be troubleshot. There's something weird about that. Hey, made my first stream says LOL's Factory. Good to see you, LOL's Factory. Also watching Minecraft. Greater than playing Minecraft. I mean, why play Minecraft when you can watch an internet cat slowly do the same thing for you? Oh, there's a few gaps in the iceberg biome that entirely ruin my plan here. So what we have to... Okay, so when there's a few water blocks that aren't going down, what we have to do to them is replace them with ice, and then immediately mine that ice, and then it causes the same thing. Again, pro tip, this is actually like... This is a good technique for getting rid of water. If you replace the water with something, then get rid of that thing. It will go away. It's just usually not practical to do so. It's better to sponge. Except if that block makes itself, because ice just happens to do that for you. Wear Frostwalker boots, says Briggan. Yeah, honestly, that would be a really good decision if it weren't for the fact that I need to pick up the ice from the water. If otherwise, that'd be a whole thing. You want to have a philosophical and mildly political conversation, Toycat, says Cyber. You know, it's weird how we always sometimes end up in that kind of ballpark, right? Of like philosophy, history, and then like the tiniest whiff of politics. Because I hate talking about politics. I don't know how someone always manages to get it in me, but we'll try our best to avoid that. So, Cat, can you teach me how to live my life, please? Says Henry Chinaski. That's actually not an ability I have. Like, you want me to teach you to live your life? I guess it depends on like what issue your life is having right now, right? I mean, I've been playing Animal Crossing, and let me tell you that the difference that's been having on my life. I've learned that, like, you know what? The game, every Animal Crossing game I played before now is like, what is even the point in this? But there's like this zen moment you find that makes you realize, by the way, Defiant Spider, hey Toycat, this is my first time paying my Toycat tax, wondering how your day is going. Hey, thanks so much, Defiant Spider, 21. I like that, you know, the numbers in a name, there's always like a story behind them, so I'm gonna guess your story is that you like blackjack. Or maybe like you just think it's a magic number, like whether you know it's related to blackjack or not. Or you could be 21 years old and you're like, I want to advertise the fact that I can legally drink. Because guess what? Drinking streaming with Toycat. Let's do it. Oh, by the way, you can see over there, like some blue wool. It's great. I was considering like fixing it because it's really easy just to do that. But I kind of like that you can see the edge of the green screen.
Hello, Toycat. I have one question for you and one question only. If animals could talk, which species would be the rudest? Thumbs up, hot dog pancakes. Oh boy, I am cringy.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much, Marcus the OK. Really appreciate the toy cat tax. Best type of tax, am I right? Second of all, if an animal could talk, which would be the rudest? I don't know if I can come up with my own unique answer on this one, because every immediate response I have is like based on TV, I feel like. And that, like, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, it'd be like, you know, the penguins, but it's like, that's just Madagascar speaking. That's not my actual knowledge, or, you know, I mean, not that there can be knowledge in a question like this. My instinct about which animal would be rudest would be cats, right? Because they're like, yes, feed me, please, you know, like, give me love, but only when I want it, not when you want to give it to me. You know, although, you know, there's a lot of examples out in the real world. Dolphins. Yeah, people say dolphins are intelligent, but the fact that we know what they do to porpoises, look into it if you want to be horrified tonight. The fact that we know what they do to other animals, like with their intelligence, it's messed up. You know, yeah, again, like people say dogs is the parrot sense speed. I agree. You know, people say dolphins are so intelligent. Where's their solution to the climate crisis? Where's their solution to, you know, the pandemic facing the world right now? You notice how, like, oh yeah, world leaders, they're scrambling together trying to find an answer. What's the contribution from dolphins? The monsters. Their numbers of porpoises that have been violently assaulted hasn't gone down in the slightest. Also, toy cat's an authoritarian leader. Abusive taxes. Is it the beauty about authoritarian leaders is that they don't actually need to ask for taxes. They can just take the taxes. They've got lots of measures to make sure you do in fact pay up. Whereas the more free society is, the more you have to, like, politely request it. And you better believe the toy cat live stream society is a very free one. Also, I feel like my snow golem is dead. Anyone getting that feeling right now? It's just a feeling. It's definitely not for sure. What's the contribution from us label people on the internet for that? Says Sharp Coyote. You know, I'll be real. You know, humans aren't very intelligent sometimes. Or at the very least, humans are like very specialized in our intelligence, right? That's what makes us a unique animal. Is that like certain people are really good at certain things. Actually, I've been thinking about this one today because I got a recommended video from. I think it was Bill Gates talking about how like the world was like unprepared for like a global pandemic. I was like, hey, good job YouTube recommending things like that. For some reason I get recommended all the time like things that were like, you know, someone being proven right. Like, oh yeah, people making like doom and gloom predictions like always get recommended. It makes sense as to why, because people click it being like, wow, that's a real thing. Back in the day, it used to just be like, someone would say, oh yeah, trust me, I totally said this would happen a while ago. And like crazy people could like be like, wow, they really did predict basically this. Also, just join the stream. What's the ice for? Lol, says Lucifer himself. The ice is for a big nether. I'm freezing the nether basically, and part of the nether freezing is I need a lot of ice.
Toy cat FRICC move frick poo love you toy cat don't get coronavirus.
Thank you so much, Moo. Appreciate the supports in these confusing times we live in. Also, it's Elia. Welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy being a member. You should now have access to, you know, the best thing in the world. It's toy cat emojis. What do we want in the world? Emojis. When do we want them? Hopefully never, but apparently right now, if you remember. For some reason, I can't update something in the marketplace on my Switch, and I did everything to make it work. You know what? Yeah, when it comes to the marketplace, like, it updates once a week. But if it's a piece of content, just turn it off and on again until it works. Is the solution. Hey, Toycat, hope you're doing well. I was working from home since Wednesday, and I'm building a tall wheat farm while I listen to the stream. Oh man, that is a cool project. Like, honestly, it's like one of the 5 most basic things you need in the Minecraft world is like, you gotta get your sugarcane farm going. If you don't have a sugarcane farm going, you're a savage. And then after that, it's like, okay, what should we do next? Really early on the list is like, get a lot of wheat. You can do it tall, you can do it wide, you can do it whichever way like you find best. But like, wheat is just so essential as like, it makes bread, which is nice. It makes hay bales, which are decorative. It trades the villagers very cheaply for emeralds. It's like, wheat is just such a staple in Minecraft And I love any new Minecraft world that I like, see, because the wheat is. I sometimes feel like, it'd be cool to start a new world just for the wheat farm, like just for the sugarcane farm. I could start one from scratch. It'd be great. And that's a weird feeling to have, but I guess that's where I am sometimes. What are you drinking tonight? I'm on my first Captain and Zero, spiced rum and Coke Zero. See, you say captains, and I'm immediately, I immediately guessed at least Captain Morgan's. Personally, okay, I want to talk about my heresy, Jay, because I'm a big rum guy, but because I fly a lot, or rather I flew a lot, I guess it's past tense now, because like we're all having questions of like when will you fly again? Long time it looks like, and yeah, because that like for some reason. Wherever I travel, like, there only seems to be white rum. I was just like, well, I guess I'll deal with that. And it's like, actually, this is tasty. So now I'm like all the brands do, like, white as well as spiced and dark. But people look at me very weird, and I'm like, that's fine. Anyway, for some reason, I wanted to let you know about my weird niche alcohol preferences. I have a can of cranberry mixed with Smirnoff is, I believe how you pronounce this one. I have a bunch of cans in my fridge that I've had for, like, a year and a half that I need to get rid of, because, like, I just bought some pre-mixed can stuff. I'm not even a big fan of the pre-mixed can thing. I just like the idea of like, wow, you want a beverage? Don't even have to mix it. Have you ever had Sunny D? Also, rum is my favorite. Rum is objectively the best spirit. Changed my mind. Well, that got existential. I just wanted to talk about my preference in distilled beverage. Sunny D tastes really good. Sunny D tastes really bad in the UK. And it tastes like it used to taste in the UK, in America. Although I believe that's still worse than it used to taste in America. That's my understanding of events. Yeah, I tried some Sunny D when I was in Vegas again. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is what it used to taste like. Whereas every time I buy Sunny D in the UK, it's like, oh, this is what someone managed to distill sadness into a bottle and they've sold it to me. Also, just during the stream, what's the ice for? Says Lucifer. It's to make my ice nevery. Any groovy conspiracy theories you believe in? Honestly, no. I am very prone to conspiracy theories. I would say, like, my brain questions everything. If you tell me, like, let's take the, like, I don't know, the moon landing, right? If you say the moon landing was fake, intuitively I'll be like, yeah, it makes sense, man. Like, you got some secret knowledge there. But then you tell me the moon landing's real, and people who don't know it's fake don't know about, XYZ thing. Like, like, people say the flag was spinning, but there was no wind, but it's like, yeah, because he rotated with his hands, you idiots. He told us he did that. Also, is it safe to pay my existing survival on new snapshots and get Neverite and stuff? I don't recommend playing on snapshots or betas ever. I always want to, like, be clear, so, like, at least once a month in, like, a snapshot video, I'm like, hey, this is a snapshot. It's not a real version. But, yeah, just kind of, like, add to that right now. Definitely don't play with snapshots or betas. It just doesn't make sense, okay? Also, were you the edgy quiet at school? I guess maybe. It makes sense, right? It makes sense. Like, I never categorize myself. I've got this big thing with categories, right? Like, I hate the, like, I never wanted to be, whatever, any other things. Like, I didn't want to be this or that, or a nerd, or any, I didn't want to think, I didn't want to be a chav or anything. I had a real problem, like, fitting into any circle, because I was like, but all of these classifications seem real dumb. Like, why do we have to, why do we even have to classify people? Like, surely the most important thing about you is not the weird category we've decided to put people in. But yeah, my weirdest conspiracy theory, honestly, maybe it's the fact that, like, no, the reason I don't believe in any is because the question you always have to ask yourself, how many people have to keep the secret, and how many people have a vested interest in proving the secret wrong? For instance, like, I don't know, the JFK assassination is my great example of, like, it really could be real. I don't believe it, but I think it's the most likely. Because, like, the vested interests that, like, there was no one who really gained or lost from it besides, hit the man who died and his family. So, like, you could be like, oh, yeah, not many people had a huge stake to lose in that. And also, there was some suspicious events. But, like, if the moon landing was fake, that meant the Soviet Union didn't call out America on it, which means they thought it was real, even though they had every, if they'd approved that fake, they could have done a lot of stuff and just, what I'm saying. It's a whole thing. No, let's not talk about I don't think any major recent conspiracy is real. The thing is, though, the thing about conspiracies is, like, every now and then one does turn out to be real. The General Motors conspiracy to get America to be car reliant as opposed to, tram and, rail reliant, that's a very real thing. The MK Ultra, where the CIA just gave people random drugs, that's how we got the Unabomber. Like, the CIA was just drugging people to see if they could force them to tell the truth. They did a lot of other things at the same time. And it created one of the US's, big terror events. And what I'm trying to say right here is, with every single conspiracy theory, you've got to question, like, who wants this to be real? Who wants this not to be real? The event is, generally, like, I know it's like contrails. Like, do you really think that no one in the world is trying to prove that contrails are real, and somehow they're not getting evidence out there? I know it's kind of weird to me. Hey, so again, just woke up from a nap. How are you? Says Shark Boy. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm having a pretty good morning. Also, money equals yes, says Salted Hand. Hey, thank you, Salted Hand. I agree. Look at tax. Best tax. Orange juice is going to be either a lot of pulp or nuclear flavored, such as Sunny D. Is Sunny D nuclear flavored, or is it just like not real orange? Like, I'm just saying. Like, sometimes you just want a sugary drink that vaguely has water tendencies. Are you drinking sushi? I wish they could make a sushi drink. I'd be so excited. Also, what is poo made from? It's made from the things you eat in your day, Mr. Moo. Also, your name rhymes with poo. How beautiful. The US government planted cocaine in 4 hours is not conspiracy. It's true. Yeah, there are genuine things that have been proven to be true, right? And the thing is any conspiracy could be shifted over the line to become that. So you like, to dismiss them all is just as dumb as to say that they're all true. Because, this is one of my favorite little things about conspiracies. The most reliable indicator to work out if someone will believe in a given conspiracy is if they believe in an unrelated conspiracy. If someone believes in, the moon landing being a hoax, they're more likely to believe that 9/11 was an inside job. But, like, you can give people contradictory conspiracies, and that's still true, because the sorts of things that lead you to question authority will lead you questioning it a lot more than once. Like, there are a few people who question only one thing ever, but there's a lot of people who question everything, which is good. We need questioners. We need contrarians. We need people in the world who stand up to someone just saying a thing. Even in times of crisis, you need someone to be like, hey, turns out not a good thing. Like, I don't know, whistleblowers. Good thing, right? We need people to be out there being like, hey, maybe what I've been told my whole life isn't the best thing. I know it's a whole thing. Or catastrophe actors. Oh yeah, with every like major mass event that gets media coverage, people are like, they're an actor. Especially if they like go on to do something big. And there's like, again, you can like vaguely feel it on the surface of like, yeah, when someone gets an ace card in like a debate, like, because the reason they call them this is because there's a big debate happening around it, like whether it's terror protections or gun control or whatever else. And when someone else gets like an ace card in their debate, you want to be like, well, your card is fake. Also, where do you live in the UK? I guess it's Birmingham. I mentioned it a few times before. It's not a secret. I live in the London-ish area. I guess to put people at ease without revealing too much, I live outside the official London Authority, so I'm not covered by the, like, everything is locked down and there is no public transport anymore ban. So that's cool. Man, I always hate that I get these, like, pillage raids going, because I don't really... Oh, no. Okay, well, now I'm killing a trading llama as well, apparently. But, yeah, I just don't really have a use for them while we're mining ice. Most conspiracies are pretty fake, but a lot actually makes some sense. Yeah, like, it's the thing of, like, the reason they are theories that are across multiple people. Like, okay, I had a crazy guy at a wedding of, like, my uncle, I want to say, who was going on about how, well, there's nuclear waste buried under Iraq, and that's why something Iraq war, right? Like, there are lots of one-man conspiracy theories out there. The really popular ones exist because, yeah, there's something in there people want to disbelieve collectively. Like how the Earth being flat, like, I don't think the Earth is flat, but it's pretty easy to see why people believe the Earth is flat. It's a more intuitive theory. It goes back to the specialization thing I was saying about people now are more specialized than ever, which means to understand a field that you're not big in is very hard. Understanding the medicine, like, not even just like let's ignore like medicine as a field, because medicine is surprisingly complex because on the surface level it's just I have a cough, I take cough drops. I have a headache, I take the headache pill. There's a lot of like really basic, like consumer facing medicine. But if you actually want to be good enough at medicine to be a doctor, you spend years studying the vague interactions between drugs and stuff like that, because those vague things are can actually save a lot of lives. If you're like a lot of people have been saying, there's two ends of this. Some people have been saying since the beginning that current worldwide crisis is a really small deal. It's basically nothing. And there's people who have been saying that we should have locked down the borders the moment the first case was reported outside of China or whatever. Like, there's been people on both sides of that. But the reality is both of those groups of people, some of them are very well educated, but the vast majority are people using their lurch instinct. The epidemiology is so fascinating. It is, right? The field, the fact that even like right now there's no real agreement, even in like the biggest crisis, because it's a field that requires a lot of variables that not everyone can agree on. But my point is that people use their common sense, and then there's an expert that backs them up, or like there's a lot of people who have the same opinion. Experts are not. But the truth is like understanding these very complex fields, it's tricky to do. There's no but understanding how a nuclear reactor works, I've looked into it several times before. I still don't really understand beyond there is a nuclear reaction that creates heat, that drives a turbine, that drives electricity, and that is much more efficient than coal or wind or whatever. But like, there's so many fields that you can't probably understand. So when you can't understand something, you either admit you can't understand it, which is, like one, hard for anyone to do, or you simplify in your head what that thing actually is. And the truth is most of the time, we simplify all sorts of things all the time, because it's hard to say to yourself, I don't understand a very key thing I'd like to understand. So instead, you simplify the thing, you're like, oh yeah, I understand the simplified version of it. Took out tax and opinion on teen pregnancy. Is there anyone out there who's like super pro teen pregnancy? I'm gonna construct the argument to be pro teen pregnancy. You've convinced me, Bradman. But yeah, so I feel like the one benefit of teen pregnancy, because like teenagers aren't the best parents, but I think there's a certain age in your teenage years, I don't know if it's 19 or if it's 14 or whatever it is, but there's a certain age where you are very likely to give birth to a kid that is like, because as you get older, your odds of having something go wrong go slightly higher. So if you could like have all the teenagers have the children and then give the children to the more responsible them later in their life, like have the child at 19 and then pass that child on to 29-year-old you, that would be better. There we go. Pro teenage pregnancy somehow. Don't know how I did it. But thanks for the Twig attacks, Bradman. Yeah, those poor polar bears, you're taking away their territory and forcing them closer and closer together. I am global warming today. I am global warming today. It's beautiful, really, if you think about it. But yeah, I wanna mention the fact that like there's so much more information now than there ever has been before. But no, the more information there is out there, unfortunately, it's not leading to more correct information. Because if you want to find the correct truth about something, you can. But a lot of people use that to find selective truth. Like, if you want to believe in something, against or in favor of limiting personal freedom to protect the collective welfare of society from this epidemic. So, all I know is that throughout history, there's been a trade-off, right? There's been the trade-off of trade lives for freedom. The reason that countries went to war in the last half of the 20th century, was like we want to keep our freedoms. We're willing to sacrifice some of you to get it. Realistically, the people who died to sacrifice for that weren't doing it for the freedoms. Like, it was the collective societal unit that was saying, hey, we want freedom enough to sacrifice your lives. Because it's always young men, right, who like, I mean, nowadays it's young people, let's say, but like young people between the ages of like 18 to like 30 who like suffer for whatever society decides they want.
Toy Cat acts because my job just announced that those who volunteer to work through everything happening get double paid, ruling face.
Oh, that's awesome. I feel like every time I hear a win, because like there are winners and losers of a huge economic reorganization, like some industries going very, you know, tits up to be simple. Some industries doing better. I'm always like pleased to hear about like, you know, there are people doing well, and I'm glad you're one of them, Sarah Burke. I hope all is good. I mean, all is good. You know, I don't have to hope. That's nice, isn't it? But yeah, like throughout all of history, we've traded lives for freedom. Now we're gonna have to do the other way around, and it's weird because like my instinct is I don't want to, and I feel like freedom is something I don't want to talk about at anyone else's level. I am giving up my personal freedom in exchange for whatever number of lives I can personally affect. Is it 0? Is it 1? Is it 100? If I accidentally walk into a supermarket full of old people, I don't know for sure. But I definitely would I wouldn't feel comfortable making that decision for other people. Obviously, I wouldn't feel comfortable like saying I'd trade people's lives for freedoms, but I feel even less comfortable trading people's freedoms for some people's lives, because it's a much more unequal trade. More information, but more disinformation. I was put in unemployment since my work closed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there like a proper system of like, you know, like I guess what's the word, like insurance, unemployment, something benefit insurance, in your state / country for that, or are you like desperately trying to find another one? What's the solution to that? Because that sounds terrifying. I trade people's lives for freedom to some extent. I mean, like, we do it every single... Like, the truth is with this crisis, we're now confronting that we have to do it. But we are doing it every single day. If every single person had to tell the government their whereabouts at all times, we have the locations, etc. there would be less crime. There would be, you know, like, violent crime too, like people being murdered, etc., etc. There'd be no terror attacks because everyone in your borders would be tracked and controlled off. But we all agree, like, you know what, there's a level of, you know, like, there's a level of lives we're willing to put at risk every single day in order that the majority can have their freedom. And it's weird, like, having to confront it so head-on these days. I get paid by the government since my job is put on hold to the pandemic's older. Hey, so what you're basically saying is you hope this lasts for as long as it can. You're cheering against the team now. But no, yeah, there's more information out there than ever before. And there's more disinformation out there than ever before. Because there's no quality checks on the internet. The internet is kind of like this freedom bastion. Anyone can say whatever they want. Right now, say me a word, I'll say it. Moo says, Toy Cat, what is your opinion on cocaines? I like Coca-Cola. And I don't think it ain't. No, I don't know. I don't have opinions, sorry. There's a big epidemic of it where I live, I hear. That sounds fun for the people involved with it. Google an apple, no. Thank you so much, J Loudmilk. Always love the $2.86. The precise attention to detail to get your dollar across to me. Or is it a pound, I think? Yeah, I think it's a pound. So first of all, thank you. Second of all, it's really, that's the funny thing, right? Like, all of the things that you would never trust a government with, we trust a private company. Like, you know, all these freedoms that people would die for, we give away for very minor, like, conveniences. Like, oh yeah, my location is being tracked at all times by my phone, but in exchange, I get pretty good fitness data. That's literally true in my case. And I also get, like, a cool track record of where I've been. I get a monthly, like, you know, like, update on, like, where I've been in that time. It's kind of dumb, right? But at the same time, you know, I am slightly better at tracking my goals, and I do get information. There's even a Black Mirror episode about this. Everyone keeps saying, like, oh, Black Mirror, Black Mirror. Like, Cat keeps referencing Black Mirror. And it's like, you know, it's a cool show. But, yeah, there's a Black Mirror episode about this where, there's, like, a big, hostage crisis. I think it's in the UK, actually. And, the government, like, they do their basic stuff. But it turns out, because it involves, like, the CEO of Twitter, they use their data already. And it's like, oh, yeah, Facebook already has more information on this guy than the UK government does. And it's like, that's a weird situation where these private companies in the Bay Area have more information than anything else. My Toy Cat shirt came in, says Emily Blair. Hey, happy Toy Cat shirt day, Emily Blair. As this shall now be known onwards, 22nd of March, 2020. Also,
unfortunately, that decision has to be made for other people. If you rely on each individual, their individualist side will emerge and they will choose what's better for them, not for the general society.
See, you're making a pretty collectivist case right there, right? But, I mean, like, am I not deciding for myself over society? I mean, actually, I guess until flights in countries started closing, I was arguably deciding for myself over the country. Well, your thought Big Brother was going to be big government, but in reality it's big tech. we yet might see this. There is a power shift happening between big corporations and big government all the time, but I think in reality that's why the EU is always passing these big data laws that like some of them hit the mark, some of them don't. Thanks so much. All I hope is well of you too. I don't know if you believe in karma, but I wish the best karma on you. If you don't, I will send good vibes your way. I do love some good vibes. Thank you for sending them my way. Yeah, no, I really am. I do believe in karma personally, by the way. I don't think you can send good karma to someone though. I think you can only earn. And you know, I feel like it'd be cool if we had karma points that you could earn, distribute, like sell, etc. to people at will. But then that would like, you know, to some extent matches how money works. And people don't like that comparison at all. But I missed my original Toy Cat t-shirt. Not sure what happened to it. Oh, actually, while we're here, I want to make a quick little mention to... So let's just stare at these llamas and this polar bear. These two polar bears in the boat. But I want to make a quick mention to the fact that I don't do merch ever, for the most part. But because I accidentally have a merch store, because I've had it for a while, but I only accidentally set it up recently, we have temporarily, for just 8 more days, Toy Cat Christmas merch, but it's in July. That's right. Over here, as you can see, Toy Cat Christmas merch, but it's in March. You might think, March, is that the time to be buying Christmas merch? The answer is yes. Look at this sweet design. Do you know, like, you're inside all day. Why don't you... Wait. If you're inside all day anyway, why don't you have yourself a little Christmas shirt? It just makes sense, right? Look how great this Christmas shirt is. Don't you want one?
To complete my super chat, only when the government here in Portugal declared emergency state did the people stop flooding the beaches. Now we have 1,000 cases having 11 million population. A lot.
So, first of all, shameful plug. Yeah, I was gonna... Usually it's shameless plug. In this case, it's like, buy my Christmas shirt. Buy it. It's beautiful. This is how I'm selling things more. Make a mug and I'll buy it. I think I made 6 mugs and then they all got sold out. I want to say that's what happened. It's very sad. Why only 6 mugs, you ask? Because I don't have a good merch strategy. That's why. But yeah, so to respond to the follower Di Papo, no, I want to directly take that one out actually because they say the government that you can't trust the people to do things. You have to use force on them. The truth is, some number of people will do ridiculous things regardless of whether you try to force them or not. Some number of people will only not do ridiculous things if you force them. Like, if we made crime legal, let's make crime legal. But no, if you make murder legal, the murder rate doesn't go up by much. It might go up by a couple percent, or it might go up by 100%. But not everyone starts murdering someone just because it's legal, right? Most people don't do it not because it's illegal, but because they would feel bad for it. Even if they had some benefit to murdering someone, they still might not. And yeah, like the idea that like you have to kind of balance when you're talking about any form of policy. I'm standing inside of the ice block right now. Oh, this is weird. This is weird. By the way, thanks so much, Amy. I missed your name. I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna get you. I work in the health service here in Ireland. The past 2 weeks have been so insane. No signs of us closing. Actually, that's cool to hear that you're from Ireland. I've always wondered about the health situation in Ireland. Like, I want to hear from like someone who actually isn't trying to like push some agenda here or there, because like I've heard that it's like insurance based, which is I've got a lot of questions about how it works. But yeah, I'm really I feel like this is I spoke to my mum today who works in the NHS, the UK health service, and she's like, you know what, it's been crazy busy, but the fact that like the country's coming out and saying like, yeah, these are like everyone's kind of rallying around it. It's kind of motivating to me that like in times of crisis, the people who need the most, the people who need to be elevated in whatever way, society does manage to do that with. I don't know, maybe that's just my thinking, maybe that's me being optimistic. But like, also, I just want to kind of finish up with the whole, let's say you're up in a comma recession, so sorry, but I missed that one. But yeah, honestly, like, like if you could give karma to each other, I wonder how the world would actually go. Like, if there was like, in addition to money, maybe, would some people amass all the karma? Would you be able to judge the people with no karma? It's a questionable one, right? Start the purge if we make murder legal, says Shark Boy. Here's the thing, right? If the Purge universe made purging legal every day of the year, then maybe, like, would it make much of an impact? Because the logical in-universe argument for the Purge is like, oh yeah, you kill all the economically inactive people, and somehow all the murder is actually good for the economy, which, by the way, I can't imagine that's ever true. It's like broken window fallacy if I've ever heard one. But yeah, so I don't get to see my dad until COVID-19's done because he's a taxi driver and might be infected. Man, that's every single like niche profession like that, it's always like, man, yeah, a lot of people going through some stuff, and really sorry to hear it. So the Purge seems flawed as a concept. The Purge movies are dumb, right? The Purge movies are just super dumb as an overall thing. But yeah, someone said, do I believe in individualist society or collectivist? The truth is, you need balance, right? In some aspects, we are individualists, and in some aspects, we are collectivist. But you've always got to have the balance between the two. You've got to admit that individuals can work towards their own good, and like individuals have their own good and their own family's good at the top of their mind, but also they have society's good somewhere in their mind. In some people, it's also in the front. In some people, it's slightly further towards the back. And you need to use people's want for the good of themselves and the good of their family to make the good of everyone. That's what I personally think. But obviously some people feel very differently about that. Some people think that you can force people to care about themselves if they, like people can care about, if people are always caring about themselves, force them to care about the common good and then they can deal with themselves later. There's a lot of like outlooks you can take on the way humans work. But the truth is, we are very complex beings, and because every situation we put in changes our behavior. Like, you know, people only started panic buying because the situation changed, right? Like, it didn't happen out of nowhere. That now, even if right now the current situation went away, people would start panic buying toilet paper for a while, because as soon as it gets back in there, you're like, I see toilet paper the first time ever. I'm gonna make sure I get it while it's still here. There is going to be a massive like oversupply and then undersupply, under demand later, I should say, of toilet paper and a few other things that change because other humans' behaviors changes your behavior, and the system changes other people's behavior, as well as changing your. There's lots of moving parts in a system, which is why you can't simplify down to X equals 1. You know, like, you can't simplify down to this is good or this is bad, because yeah, lots of moving bits. Also, your pickaxe is about to break, says Colton Palmer. See, you say my pickaxe is about to break. I say my pickaxe has a bunch more durability in it. Should we keep on going? You know, I do like upsetting chat by keeping going. Also, off work till further notice, so I give you money, says Destruction Slayer. Thank you for the
Here's some more money. When are you gonna walk to 10 million blocks? Chat kicks Hackwo XJW.
Thank you. Wait, how did that just get pronounced, that last word? What? Like, XW. Like, what even? Okay, you know, thank you, MFD Gamer. The 10 million block walk would take, like, minimum, if we were walking it would take, like, weeks. If we were flying it, it would still take minimum 40 hours and an ungodly amount of experience. Like, it would take a lot, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Break the pickaxe, says Jessica Forsyth. Do you guys want to see a broken pickaxe? I bet you do. No, I think this pickaxe is relatively fresh, so I'm going to try my best not to break it. But we do have to go get a new pickaxe, which will be kind of fun. Thoughts on Lord of the Flies by William Golding. It confirms one of the, like, I will always talk about the good of humanity and how humans do genuinely care about the collective good and, like, other people and stuff. But Lord of the Flies proves, like, it has a point behind it that I basically agree with, which is like, you know what? Humans care about the good of society, the good of others, etc. Children do not. I feel like a lot of people who hate people, like, get it because when they were children, they're like, man, people were just monsters until you force them not to be. Yeah, children are monsters. That is a thought I'm never going to back down from. Oh, man, my pickaxe is so close to dead now. So close to the edge. You should drink too much again and dive deep. Usually the like logic behind like the melon juice streams was like, oh yeah, I'm going out anyway. Why don't we just get some drinks in first and then do it? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a messy process overall that like isn't good for me as a person, let alone a streamer or a YouTuber. Maybe I'm wrong, though. It's Corona time. I do love that Corona is suspiciously out of stock at most major supermarkets here. Oh yeah, look at this. My pickaxe is broken, internet, but I'm mining with it anyway. How'd you feel about that? Oh yeah, isn't this good? This is real good.
Canada is en route to become another Italy. We are doubling in cases every second day. From 130 cases 6 days ago to 1,400 cases now. Our government needs to enforce more drastic measures. Be safe, Andrew.
Okay, so if it makes you feel any better, Mr. Jamie, because it is everyone reads about this issue on a local level, and then it's really panicky. And there's a very clear feeling as to why. But the truth is like most countries around the world, like I could name literally 20, 30 countries that are going through doubling every 3 or 4 days. Doubling every 2 days is a lot more, but a lot of that's like testing based, right? It's not based on actual increased infection rates. So like even though this is like a scary time.
I've donated a total of $100 now. I am proud of myself. I should get a follow on Twitter. Lol, my Twitter is at MFDGamerXX. If anyone wants to follow me, gotta do some promo LMAO.
Honestly, hustling every day, MFD Gamer. I don't like the idea of like, again, this is like me as a person all over, I know, but like, I don't like the idea of like setting the precedent like, oh yeah, the amount to buy a Twitter follow is $100. Like, I like everything being because you want to, or because of the explicit things provided, rather than like, oh yeah, there's this secret tier that's only there for people who, ask or this or that. So, first of all, I will say though, if anyone wants to follow MFD Gamer, mega supporter, at MFD Gamer on Twitter, MFD Gamer XX on Twitter, check him out. But, yeah, I want to go to, I want an ice crown, to be honest. The creepers remind me of limes. I really want to get me some Corona, just drink it on the stream and just not even mention it to anyone, just to see how people go with that. Like, I feel like that's just a me thing to do, Just, it feels like a thing I should be doing, and that I'm missing out by not doing. It's when people promote themselves as on the stream. Yeah, I don't ever know how to, like, deal with it. I just kind of, like, look left, right, and then continue on myself. You need to follow IBX at IBX Toycat instead. Follow at IBX Toycat, am I right? By that logic, rich cats would totally be eligible for a follow. I agree. By the way, rich cats, there are still 3 of you out there. Thank you for being around. Honestly, mate, how old are you? You look way older on your face cam than on Instagram. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It could be the lighting. Makes me older. No, I am 24. I was born in 1995. So if you're watching this more than 4 months in the past somehow, then I am 25 now. I'm having a weird time like dealing with that because I had like a deal with myself that when I turned 25 I'd be like a real adult and stuff, like stop traveling every 3 weeks or whatever it is these days. Also, why is it that every time I eat I end up back at half a hunger strike? Am I like mismeasuring my bar? But also Cosmic Grime, girlfriend and I are on opposite sides. She is scared to leave her house. I went to Walmart yesterday just to see the craziness. It raises friction between us. Honestly, I've been in that situation a bunch of times. Like the to worry or not to worry question. Like it obviously comes up now more than any other time, but it is like a real. It's a real thing of like you need to have the trust about, like when should the worrying come out? When is the appropriate time to do that? I will be a rich cat after theft, says Matthew Donovan. You were born the year I graduated from college, says Pookie Hounds. I don't know if that makes me young or you old. I'm not sure how that makes you feel. But all I know is it's always weird when people say that because I'm like, oh yeah. There are people being born right now who will be like I'll be interacting with in 15, 20 years. And I'll be like, oh, time is weird. It is a non-linear concept day. Anyway, so we're going to put some ice away real quick. We actually have a bunch of ice. Arguably too much ice, but we'll put some away just so we've got some stored up there. And then we're going to go recover this pickaxe. It's going to be great. Is there a members only view of the chat? No reason. I do wonder, actually. I've got top chat. I've got live chat. Oh, actually, I wonder what's hidden from live chat. But yeah, so YouTube like curates the messages that I read. When are you meant to start feeling like an adult? Says Cat Girl. I wish someone would tell me the answer to this one. It's like you always expect there's gonna be a point where you're like, oh, and now I'm like proper, I'm good, etc. But the older I get, the more I'm starting to realize like maybe everyone's just pretending together. Maybe like, and it makes sense because you're like, oh yeah, all those times it seemed like your parents didn't really know what they were doing, but you thought to yourself like, well, they must, they're adults. You're like, oh, they didn't. Like they're, like, I'm like progressing through the ages because I don't know, my mother had me when I was 21. My mother gave birth to me when I was 21. It was a good ceremony we had. But like as a result, like now, like I'm at the age, not even 21, maybe 20. I should ask sometime. I should like do the maths on her birth year. Wait, it's 1970 something. There we go. I'm a good son. But it's like you start to like piece it together and you're like, ah, yeah, like there's some stuff in there. Like I can't imagine what it's like to like have to give birth to another being and pretend to that person like, oh yeah, everything's under control all the time. And I don't know, it's scary to be alive is what I'm saying here, basically. So I need a pickaxe. Do we have a pickaxe lying around? We do not. I guess we could unenchant one that sucks. Although I guess these probably are all pretty good if we have them lying around. Because yeah, we need another silk touch pickaxe. So actually for now, we just throw this in and then pick out another one. Silk touch pickaxe. Okay, I'm breaking in silk touch only. People get mad if I don't have a crazy efficiency pickaxe. I was in high school when you were born. I'm old enough to be your teenage parent. Well, kids on realms even call me grandpa. Now that is gonna be like both a kick, but also like a haha kind of thing, right? Or maybe not. I'm not sure. Let's see what it costs to repair this with just like, let's say this to be simple. Oh, this is actually a pretty cheap one to repair. So we just have to take this and an efficiency 4 pickaxe, and then we get efficiency 5 and silk touch, which is arguably a waste right now, I would say. But I kind of want to do it anyway. Who's gonna stop me, internet? No, let's just make a pickaxe. I've got enough diamonds. I'll be 20 in 4 days. I'm excited. I've watched you for about a year now, and this little rip is the least I can do. Keep up the great vid, says MV Omega TM Official. Hey, congratulations on turning 20, NV. If you're turning 20, my only advice is that now you're not a teenager. Everything seems like there's like big countdowns and stuff and everything. Just like there doesn't need to be like a one moment like shift, but like everything's gonna be like very slightly different, like month by month, year by year, or whatever. Also, Ireland is on lockdown, so I quit my nanny job. I wonder if that's... Oh, silk touch, perfect. We don't need to do all this nonsense I was working my way through. We just need a good old enchantment. I just pray it gives me anything else as well. Like, even if it's just unbreaking, sure. But don't just give me a silk touch game. I don't deserve... Okay, silk touch efficiency. I would like more, but I don't expect more. So now we take a efficiency 3 pickaxe, if we can find one. I'm sure we can. Somewhere in this craziness. And then we're good. Or we could take... Oh, here we go. Efficiency 3. Perfect. Although this is a fresh pickaxe, to combine them together would be a waste. So what we'll do is we'll bring an anvil, and then afterwards we can repair the 2 and get silk touch. Oh no, I need unbreaking as well. So what we do... Why don't you put mending on your pick? Because for mending to be a good idea for a pickaxe, you need to get a lot of experience, right? And I don't think I get enough experience to justify it. Maybe you disagree, but that's just my take on this one. So I definitely want unbreaking on there. Oh god, I've got to work out what pickaxes I'm combining like real fast. Okay, silk touch goes up there. We take unbreaking and silk touch. We combine it with unbreaking efficiency. And then we end up with a pickaxe that's like some way decent. That's my plan here. Let's see if it works. Pro tip, always switch around the enchantments. You never know which one's going to work better. Because they cost different amounts, which is ridiculous for making the same thing. But today you learned 7. Sure, that'll do for now. Let's do this. If an apple had car, would it have windows? Aha! Buy some from your village, says Harrison Gray. Yeah, that's basically the backup plan after all of this. Okay, so now we take this pickaxe here, as well as another. Wait, we put this one back in. I don't know why that was out there anyway. And we combine this with something else later. Okay, we're good, internet. We're good. I need to organize my pickaxes somehow. Name your pickaxe. Oh, that'd been a good idea since I just paid for it anyway. If only. I wish my age mindset would tell my body how old I am. Okay, we're gonna get efficiency 2 pickaxe from my village, and then we're gonna combine it, and we're gonna rename at the same time. Wait, so right now we'll just fly back. Okay, this is an inefficient way to get to my iceberg biome, but just so you can see around my world, it's a fun time. Let's do it anyway. So let's throw away this. Throw away the Illager banner. Let's be real. Oh, actually, we need to go pick up a shulker box. Good idea. Toycatism. It's illegal not to pay taxes, but it's not, and people know it's not. Exactly. It's illegal to pay your toycat tax, except for the fact that no one pays their toycat tax unless they want to, and everyone accepts that as a good system. I mean, that is a great example, right, of like this is everyone is doing it arguably collectively, right? Like, if there was no source of revenue for these streams, I would not make any money, and I would have to do other things to make my money, and I could not stream. And therefore, like, all the people who choose, whether it's via membership or just by watching, you do a little bit, but like, by watching, by becoming a member, or by, you know, super chatting / tipping, people support the stream, and somehow that is enough to keep something going. I want to mention that as like, yeah, you know what? There are lots of instances of like people not collectively doing the right thing, but there are so many more instances of people actually coming together and doing the correct thing. Wait, you don't have to pay tax? The day you learn, right? It seems mandatory, but get this. If you don't pay the tax, I won't even be mad. I won't even. Also, I think I missed some things. Why won't you put menu on you? Oh, okay. So I got them all. I got it all. I hope this isn't a feature, but I had a strong sword, but disenchanted it because I wanted to get rid of knockback. But then I wanted to enchant it. It was too expensive. Yeah, so the more times you enchant a weapon or sword or tool, the more expensive it gets. It's like Minecraft's mechanism to stop you just repairing the same tool over and over again. It encourages you to get new ones eventually. Have you considered doing a simple survival series? What would simple survival be? Just me surviving in my house? Is that fun? Also, be careful not going to the village or start a raid. Yeah, we'd have to start a raid, and then we'd have to deal with the raid. It'd be a whole thing. I'm just trying to get some ice today. So we've got an efficiency 2 pickaxe at least. For a while, that'll keep me going, and then we'll repair it with one of my just unbreaking ones to be good. Minecraft self-isolation. I said this earlier, but I really do stand by it. Playing Minecraft is one of the things you can do to help the world. That was true before this whole situation, but it's like more true now. Because all you have to do, if you want to help out the planet, is just stay inside, play some Minecraft for a bit. Like, the creativity building, great, yeah, sure. The fact that you're gonna have, more Zen mindset, which isn't something that's very often appreciated. They're like, oh, where are we? It's not something that's appreciated enough in the world, but like, being a functional person is a very valuable thing to have. It's a very, thing to be, I guess I should say. Like, being put together enough that you can interact with people and add more love to the world than you take away from it is an important thing. And being calm, whatever does that for you, like, if it's watching, Netflix, if that's, playing Animal Crossing, if that's watching YouTube live streams or playing Minecraft, doing whatever it takes to get you to 100%.
Love the second channel too.
Also, thanks for the vids. Love the second channel too. First of all, I thank you very much, Sean Riley. I've gone on record before about my disliking of the way Sean is spelt in Ireland, but you know what? For you, I make an exception. You know what? Your Sean name, it's okay. Second of all, I'm glad you like the second channel. Yeah, recently the second channel's been a weird place. I made like one video about current epidemic, and people kept asking for more. And I made a second one, and now we're on like 4. And it's like a mini-series that seems to be actually helping people. And it's like, I'm in this weird situation where I'm like making these videos I really enjoy making and that people enjoy watching, but that I don't want to make. I don't know, that's kind of the weird thing about YouTube as a whole, I guess, maybe. Like, sometimes if you don't want to do something, maybe that's the best time to be doing something. You know, life advice. Go exactly against what I was just saying before about do the things you want to do. Do the things that make you a better person. Do the things that you hate doing. You know, not everything you do is going to be your favorite thing to do, but being able to do them sometimes despite that is important. Also, efficiency 2 is so much slower than efficiency 4, because I think it must be efficiency 3 where it instant breaks. This speed is like, it's nicer to listen to. Wait, chat, do you agree? Like, on the one hand, this is like more painful to watch, but so much nicer to listen to. Like the consistent just mine. Also, Sean is an Irish name spelled with an Irish alphabet. Says M-E-L.
They'll tip you an additional $20 if you name your pickaxe Carla Faye Tucker.
Carla Faye Tucker. Okay, chat. We're gonna do this one collectively. You make this decision for me. Should I name my pickaxe Carla Faye Tucker? Is that a cool enough pickaxe? Is that a you know, is it worth $20 in exchange for having that as my name? You can repair your diamond tools with diamonds. It's actually cheaper to use pickaxes than to use diamonds. Yes, of course. Yes. Okay, you know what? This is a very soothing sound. I agree, Abby Hill. Okay, chat agrees. See, chat's out there for me, right? Like, you know what? Chat has no financial gain in this. They just have to look at a name they don't understand. Unless maybe it's like a very famous celebrity, maybe. Depends, is she going to use Streamlabs, says Robin Brooks. See, now that's asking the important questions. Like, you got to be using Streamlabs for that, Pookie Helms. It has been decided. We'll take $20 super chat. This is dumb negotiations. But thank you. Okay, when we repair our pickaxe, let's rename it at the same time. Because we'll be in the village anyway, so let's just get that over and done with, right? Yeah, I agree with that. That's a nice little that's a good negotiation point we've got going on here. Love your videos. Is Kosovo a legit state? You know, I'm gonna finally fix the tiny bit of the webcam that's off it. It depends on what you count as legitimate state, right? I can't give you a yes/no answer because it's not a yes/no answer. It's like quantum mechanics where it's like somewhere in between, sort of. I don't know. So Toy Cat is water wet. Water is not wet. Even though water is surrounded by water, water is itself water and therefore cannot get wet. Is my conclusion after a long time thinking about this. Because also, like, are fish wet, you know? Like, there's no easy answer to this one. But yeah, defining any crisis is like something I think we've spoken about before is like kind of a big deal. Like, the reason that we remember wars but we don't remember previous viral outbreaks, even though they kill more people, is because of the story that are told behind them. And I was thinking about, like, what is the story behind all of what's happening right now? You know, like what the sacrifice you're all making right now by playing Minecraft. It's tragic, by the way. Like having to play Minecraft, I know. But is Kosovo a legit state? It's like quantum mechanics. Exactly. Is Kosovo a legit state? It's quantum mechanics. Yes and no at the same time, depending on who you're talking to. Fish are wet, pretty easy. You think fish are wet? But like, I guess when you take them out of the water, are you wet when you're inside water? Like, you are, but it doesn't feel right to say you are, right? You don't feel wet until you leave the water. But I guess you are wet inside the water, and therefore fish must be wet. You know what? We solved it, internet. Thank you. You helped me with one of the longest running dilemmas I've had. Just instant out there. Wars don't kill less people, I think. Oh, wars actually do kill fewer people. It's a fun fact. I mean, not a fun fact. I mean, actually, yeah, fun fact. I prefer the quickly crackly noise of instant breaking ice. The consistent break is a bit grating. Oh, you're on the other side of that. You don't like the consistency of it. You want the big like machine gun fire level, right? Carla Faye Tucker killed 2 men with pickaxes. Prince Gnome. Hey, I don't know if that's true, but if so, I like that as a reason to name it that. You know what, Pookie, you got good taste in pickaxe naming if this person's telling the truth. Someone remind me when we get to the when we do repair our pickaxe the second time, because we will. It's a thing, right? This is the reason there's less ice. Checkmate liberals. I mean, I'm just saying, people say global warming's a natural phenomenon, but am I not a non-natural being? Well, actually, I'm a natural being. Actually, humans are a natural phenomenon, so I mean, just saying, checkmate, global warming deniers. Also, water makes things wet, so it cannot be wet. But I mean, like, can ice be wet? Oh, wait, can ice be wet? Ice is just a form of water, right? But ice can totally be wet. But if water can't be wet, then ice shouldn't be able to be wet. Man-made change is not a natural phenomenon. Also, Toycat, that name's evil. It's a murderous name. You'll be honoring assassin, Toycat. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, basically, right? Basically. No, I was thinking a lot about because again, like everyone thinks about wars as being the heroic moments that define countries. America's defined by what's it called? Like, what do you call it? The Independence War, the Revolutionary War. I don't know what it is. The South is defined by the the Civil War. Like a long story short, lots of countries define themselves by wars. World War II defines like half a dozen nations around the world. Is dry ice wet? You know what, internet? We're gonna have to slow down these questions. They're too much. They're too much. But and so like as a result of like the most deadly wars we had recently, and because for the first time instead of defining wars as victory, we define them as like human loss on every side. Like even though Nazis are objectively the worst people, right? Like that no one's like pro-Nazi here. Okay, we're good. Even though the system, the people who believe that aren't good, the fact that so many people died on both sides, etc., can at least people to believe like, oh yeah, even though you fight bad people, if you do bad things to fight bad people, on some level you're a bad person. That's like the gist of it, right? So as a result, let's try not to have war. We spent like most of the last half of the 20th century being like, let's try as hard as we can not to fight. The Cold War made it seem like war was on the doorstep at all times, mutually assured destruction. But in reality, that was one of the techniques to ensure there was no war. To have war always be on the brink is one of the things that leads to it not being there. Whereas to have a lot of people believe war can never happen is what leads to it happening, which is, again, literally before World War II. Everyone's like, guys, like, there's this, like, big thing happening. And everyone's like, I've secured peace in Europe. We just have to give this nice mustache man fella a little bit of Czechoslovakia like he wants. But, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, when everyone thinks something's not going to happen, it makes it more likely to happen. And when everyone thinks something's about to happen, it makes it more likely not to. Because, I guess partly because of how humans see risk. The risk you're thinking about is a much lower risk than the risk you're not thinking about. When you're driving a car and you're thinking non-stop about... I get this all the time when I'm, like, on my scooter or, like, skiing something. When I'm thinking about things that can happen, I'm much more ready for them. Again, I'm just going to use a car because I assume most people drive. When you're driving, you're thinking like, what could be around that corner? The moment there's something there, you're ready to react. Whereas if something comes around a corner you don't expect, you're like, oh god, oh Jesus, right? Like that's, am I correct, internet? Also, thoughts on the name Ursa or Usra? Usra Dar? I'm not sure what I think about it, honestly. I'm not sure what I think about it. But yeah, so the thing about risk and how we see it is we see risks very differently to how risks are, and our perception of risks does affect how risks are. But then I was thinking, like, right now, a lot of people still, until recently, thought war was, like, inevitable, right? Like, oh, is it with Russia or China? Like, who's the war going to be with? Everyone was sure there would be one. North Korea, maybe, like. There's like a lot of world adversaries. Iran, maybe, Like, until like, right now, it's not on the forefront of anyone's mind, right? But about, like, 6 months to a year ago, the situation was about the same, and everyone was like, oh god, we're about to go to war in the Middle East again. Whereas, people, including myself, I'll admit, I fell for this logical, like, this mistaken thinking too, of, like, there's been so many illnesses over the last, even 10 years, like, if you take 2009 to now, we had swine flu, we had bird flu, we had Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome. We've had the original SARS outbreak about 20 years ago, which is the same type of diseases, coronavirus or whatever. All these things came and went, and because people didn't understand the reasons why they went, they just saw that they weren't as big of a deal as they could have been. People were like, oh, those things aren't a big deal. and therefore, you know, we just didn't prepare for things. In the same way that like people used to build shelters in their back garden for nuclear wars, right? I've seen it in American TV shows. No one here does it in the UK, as best I know. I've never seen a bomb shelter in the UK, which is sad because they sound really cool. But you know, like at least to me, there's no like it's a concept, right? People preparing for the nuclear Armageddon they know is coming. No one has considered before, you know, like this week that like, wait, but what if the big risk is like something that shuts down the this, the that, etc. There are old bomb shelters signs all over New York City. Yeah, in London during the Blitz, I want to say the bomb shelters used were just like underground stations. Like we don't have like specific bomb shelters, which is, you know, maybe sad. Anyway, we're gonna fill up another shulker box and let's load up another one, shall we? The sequel Saw sucks. I want a refund. I think the really key lesson to learn from this is after this is all said and done, because it will be said and done. Like the cool thing about right now is as much as like if you doom scroll through something and you realize how bad things can get, you're like, oh god, you know, we have like near societal collapse is one of the things on the cards. But even now, of the most pessimistic scenario, realistically, there's just going to be a lot of untimely death. There's going to be a lot of, you know, it's not going to be ideal situation for anyone ever. But, you know, like, worst case scenario right now, it's like, okay, it's going to be kind of bad. But, like, in future, oh yeah, one of the things that can wipe us out as humanity, we're being reminded, is disease. And I hope that one of the, it won't be, but hopefully we can, one of the reactions to this is like, oh yeah, let's up our medical readiness to be able to, you know, in case something like this happens again, be ready earlier than before. Also, the high school I went to was built as a bomb and natural disaster shelter. I went to Denver Airport once, and they have like so many, they have like tornado shelters in like every terminal, and it's like, man, that is a crazy thing. America's very prepared for all sorts of different situations. Like, you know, it's sort of like earthquakes in like the entire Ring of Fire. But like everyone in California jokes like, oh yeah, the big one's coming. But like, I don't know what preparations are actually being made on that front. There's a bomb shelter 2 blocks from my apartment, says CL. Oh, that's cool. I'd love to see a bomb shelter. I want to go in someone's nuclear bunker. That's all I want to do. It sounds like fun. Also looking good today, Toycat says Max. Hey, thank you, Max. I'm glad you think I'm looking good. I want to tell you the secret to me looking good today. It is waking up far too late and being like, I guess I better do something. Learning there was a Minecraft map for $19, and then sitting on the sofa eating vegetable straws and playing Animal Crossing all day. That has been my solution so far. I realized after I played it, like, because I thought, like, Animal Crossing would be the perfect game to, like, play for YouTube, I think. It's a very calm game where you do, like, basically nothing all day. So I should have played it totally for YouTube. Yeah, thank you, Max, again, and CL, for paying the Toycat tax. That's the best way, that's the best type of tax anywhere in the universe. I'm sure we can all agree. But yeah, so, people say, Denver Airport was made the Illuminati. I've heard the conspiracies about Denver Airport. Because, like, it's way too big for an airport if you look into it. Like, it's a silly thing. We're going back to conspiracy theories, though. It's kind of all coming... It's coming full round circle, right? Mining ice is so constructive, says Tuli the Moose. I mean, we are, like, entirely leveling an iceberg biome. It is very satisfying to watch. It's hard to disagree, right? That map was so fantastic, I purchased it for myself. I did for it. As soon as I made that video, I was like, oh, God. What if, you know, I encouraged someone to buy it and somehow this was like good advertising? Because there is a little bit of truth to like no such thing as bad press, but like I hope that's not too much truth. Also, no prep for the CA big one. We're ready to get shook. Yeah, it's after a certain amount of time of everyone telling you about a risk and no risk coming, I think this is a human mechanism because like, you know, the boy who cried wolf is like a famous fable about like, oh yeah, so if people tell you about a risk that doesn't come, you unlearn it. And we always think about it in terms of like, you know, a literal boy crying wolf and being like, there's gonna be a wolf attacking. But it is kind of true of any risk society tells you about. After society, if you're told about a problem enough times, you just don't believe it anymore. I remember in school, my teachers used to be like, "Oh yeah, if you don't get GCSEs, your life will be ruined." And it's like, you got to be specific on that. And none of them ever could. Like, all of them just had the same like line they were towing. None of them ever went into any detail about like, how does not having whatever level GCSE actually affect my life? If instead of like scaremongering, they were like, "Oh yeah, your life is about 15% worse. Certain things are harder to do, and that lasts a long time. You have to go back and do them, so you lose a year of your life. It's not so bad. You can recover from it, but it's probably better not to." That, to me, that's a way better sales pitch than, "Oh my god, everything is over. Your life is done for if you can't do this." Again, I feel like doom mongering, bad idea in general. Garabo, is ice sometimes Mr. Melts while wintered? Is this one of those sentences that just doesn't make sense? I think it is. Will each layer of water you expose freeze cause another? Yeah, each layer of water we mine will expose another. Not giving us an endless supply of ice, because every bit of water we want to get, every bit of ice we need to get will destroy a bit of water. But yeah, we could go all the way down to like, we're at 62 right now. If we wanted to, we could go down to 48. So we could have 14 layers of what we're doing right now. If I needed infinite ice, not that I do, that'd be clever. But yeah, instead we'll just have a lot of like floating stuff otherwise. Why not use TNT on ice? Because I'm not destroying the ice to mine the ice. I'm destroying it to collect the ice. I'm using Silk Touch deliberately to pick up ice. Also, I hate doing whatever other YouTuber does. Sentence sent with make being. My kids' book of cautionary tales had a girl who cried fire and eventually the house burned down for it, even though she was yelling fire out the window to passers-by. Grim. Jesus Christ, yeah, that's like a dark modern day retelling of that story. Honestly, I'd love to tell like dumb Minecraft versions of all the Fables, like, oh yeah, it's the I don't know, the villager who yelled zombie, and then he gets turned into a zombie. You know, actually, you can't go brutal enough in Minecraft. It's gotta be, that's the sad thing. I definitely feel like retelling like classic stories with like dark twists is definitely how you get people on board though. Like, okay, what if it's a, I don't know, it's also, how many times have you been to Portugal? I've still yet to go, Paulo de Papo. I've been to every other, like, EU nation besides, like, 3 or 4. Like, it's like Romania, Cyprus, Portugal, Latvia. I want to say I'm missing right now. I've been intending to go to Lisbon for a while. Obviously, that is going to be postponed for a bit. It's just always so expensive to get to Lisbon, and it's like, why? I mean, what's going on here? Do you have a stupid college story? Says Cat Gale. Ah, stupid college stories. The one that comes to mind most strongly, just off the top of my head, just because it is like an extra layer of ridiculous. No, I'll find another one actually. I was like, you know what, there's too much in this that is offensive to certain people. So, dumb college story. I'd say a very the coin flip story. The coin flip story. What is the coin flip story, Peter Tunnel? If you tell me the first part of my story, I'll remember the rest. I've got this problem where like, I feel like everyone has this, like as soon as someone reminds you of something, you're like, oh yeah, it all kind of makes sense. Well, what is the coin flip story? I really want to know it, honestly. You know, the truth is like, most stories are like kind of like dull sounding on some level, but then you're like, oh yeah. Like, being excited to tell a story is kind of hard to do, I guess. That's why I only really ever tell stories when it's like relevant or linked into it. I want to hear the first one, to be honest. All it was is, I'll try and not make it offensive. Okay, so like there's a lot of like incendiary moments in this one. Okay, so I had a friend who was having a camp out. Like, the camp out when you're like 17 is like excuse to get drunk that happens to involve pets. So, you know, I head along to my friend's camp out. Probably when the one coin landed on its side. Oh, so first of all, I love people remember the story. to this day, I'm still so mad. I'm still so mad my science teacher didn't believe me. Because I had a science teacher that was just like, you know, too cool to play by the rules. So instead of doing actual science lessons with us from the curriculum, he'd just play around and teach us the science he felt like we should know. And at one point, like, he's like, everyone, here's 5 coins. Or maybe 2 coins. It was like 2 to 5 coins. Flip them all, or maybe... It was like, flip some coins. So like, oh yeah, we're gonna flip some coins. I flipped a coin, and it landed on its side. And when the science teacher came around, I was like, it landed on its side. And he's like, no, it didn't. You gotta tell me what it landed on. I was like, it landed on its side. And he was, I don't know what he was trying to prove with probability. But like, my coin, that doesn't happen. How does a coin land on its side and stay there? And stay on its side? It literally, it doesn't make any sense, right? Anyway, that's my unbelievable thing. Man, I miss football. Do you, fam, says Nico? Oh, I don't watch any sports, so like, I'm not really missing anything. I obviously don't watch football, and I know this isn't a solution. But if I really missed it, I just go back and watch like the 2014 season or something. Because then you can watch all the games at once. You know? Like, besides the drama from day to day that you're missing, like, the game, there's more football, or any sport out there, hockey, NBA, NHL, whatever, than there is for anything else. Also, any plans of visiting a national park, says Jessica Forsyth. I'd really love to. I still want to learn to drive just so I can do the American thing. Okay, how thick are your coins in the UK? It was a 2p coin, so we're talking like... We're talking the thickness of an American... it's actually slightly thicker than an American coin. Like, I'd say like a slightly thicker coin. But yeah, okay, story about camping. So, I had a friend invite me camping once. And he invited me camping alongside like 2 of my friends and my ex-girlfriend, and then like 2 other friends that he had from a long time ago. It was a weird thing, okay? And long story short, we all went to this thing, not really having this perfect bond. It was a really awkward thing, because even though we were like 18, they played like sorts of like, I can't describe it in any way besides like, the games that you played on a playground when you were 11 was their idea of fun every time. They didn't have any concept of, let's play a fun game. There wasn't like, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. And it's like, oh, you guys didn't learn how to have fun. You know, after elementary school was done, you didn't learn any new sources of fun and games. You know, like, no fun games of this and that. Just like, anyway, long story short, it was super, like, bad day, unfun. I wanted to be gone, but I was, like, super far away from home. You know, like, maybe, like, 10 miles away, from where my home was, and there's, like, it's a tiny village, there's no way to get home. And so, like, one of my friends is, like, a huge, let's call it, like, a gender crisis. Don't ask what that means. I still don't know. Drunk tag, lol, she's still already your ex at the time. Yeah, exactly, like, this is with an ex-girlfriend, dudes I didn't know, and 2 friends. And they're like, oh yeah, let's play these super physical, but not like in any fun way, games. And I was like, but no one wants to do this. And the guy would just be like, yeah, I'm getting everyone on board anyway. You know, the type of guy that can't read a room, but like, even when people are saying no, still can't read the room in the sense of, oh yeah, people are saying no because they just don't understand how good my idea is. Anyway, the Shep who cried wolf. A Shep would constantly call for help, and a wolf would scare. Okay, one though there's a real wolf and the Shep died. Also, come for things like biological sex, bimodal but not binary. I don't know if I want to be. I don't want to be jumping into any gender debates here. Okay. Anyway, so I'll finish my story. So like I have one of my friends, one of my 2 friends I bring to the party. Actually, I had like 2.5 friends, let's say, and the ex has like a gender thing, and then like the one girl at the party goes off to like help him, and slowly like all the people besides me and 2 guys are just left at a campfire away from home that we don't really want to be there. It's like, it's not fun in the slightest. Like, all the fun is being drained by these like 2 people who we don't know, who don't know how to like, you know, do a thing. And then my only other friend has gone off to do something. and it's just like, and like he specifically doesn't want us to be there, like his friends. So it's like, it's just me and you, friend, is it? And it's like, yeah, we are. And so we decide like, you know what? We've got a bottle, thing that I brought with me. Let's take that and let's go home. So with far too much like, again, if you want to know what it is, it's Russian standard. You can look into it if you want to know. But with just far too much intoxicant in the system, we both just decide we're gonna head home. We don't know the way home beyond the direction. Like, I literally know the direction home should be that way. And we just decide, let's walk and go. It's 10 miles, so like, at best, like at a walk, that'd be what, like 2.5, 3 hours maybe? How fast do you think you could walk? How many miles, internet? Like 3 hours? I don't actually know what walking pace is for a human. But we go for a walk, and because it's like 3 a.m. on a, I don't know, like a Sunday or a Saturday or something, nothing is open, and we're just like walking through the dark, and we just decide like, you know what, we're mad at this town that we've been walking around in circles for a while, because we find a nearby town, but we just can't get out of it, and we start a little bit of a revolution. And my dumb college story is the time that I entirely, like, we reorganized all the traffic cones, we might have messed up a few things, maybe involving a holy building. All I'm saying is entirely just, but because of events that are entirely out of control, that's like the first time I've ever just like taken it out on the world around me, I would say, of just like, oh yeah, entire town probably woke up the next day just being like, what happened here? Why does the church smell like pee? And questions like that. It's harder to tell like in precise details, but we tried to hitchhike all night, and hitchhiking is just not a thing in the UK, I learned, because we walked down like a major motorway, which, by the way, walking down motorways, dangerous. We walked down a pretty major motorway, and by the time we got home, it was like 9 hours later, and we're like, how did we spend 9 hours walking 10 miles? Anyway, 12 to 15 miles. GameStop says they're essential business. False. No. Yeah, I did it. I nailed it. Also, yeah, so, long story short, when I was like 18, to get away from something, I walked 8 hours. I've never walked 8 hours before, by the way. I walked 8 hours home, and on the way, many people suffered the wrath, and to this day, I feel a little bad for that. So, when I go walking, we usually go about 6 miles. It takes 1.5 hours. Yeah, I'm significantly slower than you are, Connor Irving. Today I learned. Yeah, no, honestly, what it mostly was is, like, we were drunk looking directions. We went for it at one point. Again, this whole story just, like, I don't like telling it because I hate when a story sounds fake. And the reason this is fake is clearly, like, I know my senses. I can picture it perfectly to this day. We went through a fake, like, almost like a military base. Like, it was a forest, but in the forest there was, like, a highway with traffic lights, no cars, and a bunch of, like, fences. And, like, it looked like, you know the fake towns they built in Nevada to, like, bomb test? We found one of those in a random forest. And it was like, what is going on here? I later learned that there was a prison in the area. So, like, maybe the prison has that going on. But, yeah, it was an interesting night where we just spent 9 hours walking in circles and eventually came on. It's like, imagine, like, after walking through the forest for, like, 2 hours, because, like, you know, there's a lot of nothing you have to walk through to get from a village to, like, any major civilization. Just walking into, you know, like, loads of built up civilization with no one around to use it. And no houses. Just all of that stuff. And loads of signs of, like, official government looking things on them. I don't know, I was a little spooked, is what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, that's like, wait, I have a story. Okay, wait, here's a fun one that, like, doesn't involve questionably moral things. Because I don't like to tell too many drinking stories. Because, you know, drinking stories are great, but, like, a lot of people don't like drinking. A lot of people think they're crass to tell. But I will tell this one story because it's nothing to do with me. So I can pretend I wasn't drinking during this story. So, yeah, I once just, like, was hanging out with some friends at, like, 8 p.m. maybe, around town. And so we we're just like kind of hanging out, and one of my friends is telling me about like a guy he was hanging out with earlier that day, and he's like, oh yeah, my friend Jordan, he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet, but he's got this, but he does have this thing about burning bins, and it's like, huh, really? That's kind of odd. Like, it's weird that he has to clarify that he's like burnt a bin at some point, but like, whatever. Oh, bin is trash can in the UK, I'm sure anyone knows by hearing, but just in case. But like by pure coincidence, like after some time has passed and maybe some beverages have gone through our system, we run into your man Jordan, and so I decided to like talk to the guy. Like I don't know why. Like again, I was just feeling very social. Who knows why? And so I just got into a conversation with Jordan, and he really is a nice person. Like most people, when people say like, oh, they're so nice, I don't believe anyone who says other people are nice. That usually means they were nice to me, because especially when you're young, people are rarely nice or not nice people. People just, they know whose wheels to grease at what times or whatever. But this is such a nice guy here, and yeah. So I speak to Jordan, and just like at the end of our conversation, he's just like, man, I really wanna, I really feel like burning a bin tonight, and I'm like, you like. Really, like what a weirdly specific desire, like he's such a nice guy, he's so great, like he's so friendly, and like you actually want to be friends with this guy, for nothing else. And all of a sudden he's just like, yep, bin burn, that's what I want to do. How can we burn a bin, man? And like it comes up a few times, and then eventually one of the guys in my group is just like, how about we just do it? And honestly, like the whole time I was thinking like, yeah, that's a really weird thing to be into. But as soon as it's suggested, it's like, actually, I'd like to see your process, Mr. Man. I'd really love to, I would love to know what the process of burning a bin is even like. And one of the things I still feel guilt for to this day is we're just like, how are we gonna get a bin? We don't know. We just like, we walk around until we find like an unattended like household bin. The worst bit about this is it was actually a recycling bin. So we just a random person's like I hate this. I feel so bad about this because you have to pay to replace them. Like as an adult, I know why this is the worst story. As a kid, this is just the dumbest like thing that you do while you're bored. And yes, we stole someone's bin. We filled it with paper, incendiary ingredients, and then we're like, actually, we're not that far away from the river, so we take the bin to the river. We put it down onto the river, and then we set it on fire. And it's like a Viking funeral for a bin. And I'm like, man, say what you will about this Jordan guy and his propensity, but this is beautiful. This is beautiful. My bin was burnt once. Was it you? Statistically speaking, it could have been me. Although this guy didn't get their bin back. It flew. It swam down the river. And just a reminder, by the way, this is why recycling bins are a bad idea. Young kids are just going to steal them and burn them, and it's going to be worse for the environment in the end anyway. They don't have public bins in the UK. Oh, we do have public bins in the UK. We actually looked for, if you want to hear the outtakes on this story, we actually looked for a public bin, but the closest bin to us was like, actually, this is weird. In the UK, we have like slots for bins. Like there's a piece of plastic that goes in like a hole in the ground, and we found like one, maybe two of those, and then we concluded like, let's just take one from someone's house. And again, I feel terrible about that bit. I feel terrible about that bit. Okay, so he was part of the raid, says the powerful. I missed why that became a meme, but it has been going up a lot. Also, thank you, J Loudmilk. Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying your rum and zero. I personally can only ever use like full sugar, whatever, to mix with something. But that's one of those decisions I should totally change. Also, yeah, these polar bears are like having their territory just slowly being encroached on. And I find it kind of beautiful, personally. Polar bears, how you like it when your ground is stolen. You have a blue bed. It's because I'm in a blue biome. It makes sense, right? It makes total sense. I kept thinking of Captain Sparkles when you said Jordan. Honestly, you might as well continue thinking of Minecraft YouTubers. Oh, YouTube is not receiving enough data to maintain smooth streaming. I hope you can still see me. If you can't see me, that's fine too. But yeah, so let's talk about bin burning and the way it reflects on. Let's think about bin burning and the fact that it proves that people do things all the time that are monstrous for everyone else. Not non-stop, you know. All the people hoarding all the supplies right now are doing a bad thing for other people without really even realizing it. I mean, at the time, I didn't realize what a monster it was. You know, what a monstrous move it would be to steal someone's bin from them. Now I would hate if one of my bins got robbed. Like, I would actually be mad. You have to pay quite a lot of money. I think it's like £60 to get a new one. So I can't switch to 720p so you can save the internet. If everyone else, if you switch to 720p watching this stream, it saves a lot more data than if I switch to 720p. It's bin time. Don't be Bin Laden like this guy, says Kyle Russell. I do like the Bin Laden joke. High quality, 10 out of 10. But yeah, actually, wait. Here's a great thing about the collective thing, right? So right now, the internet is under strain. More and more people are using the internet because they're staying home, or not because they choose to, because they have to. It's funny because this is going to be like defined as like the age of the internet, right? Like if there were holdouts from using the internet before, you don't have a choice now. It's go on the internet or be very bored. Like, where are you going to get books to read? Oh yeah, on the internet. Where are you going to watch movies? On the internet now. These are your choices. As far as like what you do now. And yeah, as a result, as a result of that stuff, I guess, more and more people are on the internet. So we can take this same collective versus individual thing and apply it to YouTube streaming. So because one of the things using a lot of data right now is video streaming. It's much more Netflix than it is YouTube, but to a small extent, if you watch 4K or 1080p video on YouTube, you're using a lot of data, which costs YouTube a little bit of money, but the bigger cost is that there's only so much internet that can be sent out. We only have so much worldwide bandwidth we can send around, and Netflix already uses like a quarter of it or something. You know, YouTube uses like, you know, 8% or something. If you switch down to 720p on this live stream, then you will use something like, it's like just under half the data if you use 1080p. If you go to 480p, it's something like a third to a quarter. But if you switch down your data, you can, you know, do some good collectively, right? You know, you can do some great stuff for the collective. However, also, should we break these blue ice? I kind of don't want to. However, despite that being true, is it on your guys' responsibility to switch down a quality level to save the internet? Or what I can do as the live streamer is if I switch my stream to 720p, I can force everyone right now to watch in 720p. I cannot give you the option at all, even the video people watching later, the option at all to watch in 1080. I can remove that as an ability. Should I ask people nicely and hope that most people do, you know, people who can very easily, or should I force everyone to do it? It's a moral dilemma on a much smaller scale than we're facing in the real world. But it is still the same moral dilemma, right? Like, do you trust people individually, or do you force them knowing you can achieve more that way? Because if you trust people individually, even though some people will just ignore the trust, ignore the rules, etc. Also, nasty for the internet on high quality to again. Force us. The people saying force us, though, are already choosing to do it. Also, thank you, Rick Hansen. Every time you mine near the polar bears, I'm so terrified you're accidentally going to hit one, says Jennifer Jump. You know what, for you, Jennifer Jump, I will not hit polar bears. That is my promise. My most sincere promise to you. Okay, internet, we're going to go repair our pickaxe now. What do we have to call it? Again, I believe we agreed in exchange for $20 via Streamlabs. We want 4K Toy. Oh, so wait. This is my second live stream Toy Cat I've seen. Hey, welcome, Ronnie Shaheen. And also, Cat Girl, we want 4K Toy Cat. I used to stream in 4K, but my internet just has too many, like, struggles keeping it alive. But, if you want to see 4K Toy Cat, I'm going to start uploading more. Because, like, there's a 4K capture card that's 60 FPS now. I'm going to switch. Like, I was going to try and get one for free. I might just, like, pick one up because it'll be easier. Carla Faye Tucker. Okay, let's do this. So we're going to fly. Okay, this is a tricky journey to do, but we're going to do it anyway. It's going to take a lot of fireworks. But let's go repair my pickaxe and rename it at the same time. I'm watching on 480p so I can help the dude in Thailand watch videos of dogs doing stuff. But, yeah, it's interesting, right? Because if I force everyone to do it, I'll achieve more good than asking politely. But also that comes at the cost of people's welfare. You know, like, admittedly, like a YouTube video is a very small amount. But like, we're talking about small gains in exchange for small sacrifices that you can ask people to do or that you can force people to do, right? Should you ask people or should you force people? It's a really good question that doesn't have a real answer, right? Every single governmental action we take together, when there is any collective body, even the action of a business, even the action of 3 dudes coming together deciding what movie to watch, any action you're taking on behalf of multiple people has to at some point make that decision about what are the values that we... Oh man, there is a pillager right here. Let's kill him, you know, just be fun. You know, you know, the all for one or one for all. People like to act like it's a sole thing, like, oh yeah, one for all. But like, it's not, you know, we don't... Every single decision we make a different... Depending on the issue, we take a different stance as to whether everyone should be forced or everyone should just do it voluntarily. Taxes, everyone is forced, but, you know, for instance, you can't just choose not to. In theory, I mean, in you know, practice... Actually, in theory, in practice, like, there's enough loopholes and pre-built in loopholes that kind of lets you choose your own thing. A better example is like murder. If you murder someone, even for a good reason, not okay. You know, and everyone agrees that like murder should be illegal. I like to bring as my example. Also, we're starting a raid, but it's okay because I'm just here trying to get me some efficiency too. Let's do this. So yeah, villagers do not like it when a raid starts. Okay, so we need a mostly repaired pickaxe. This one will do, I think. Let's see if they actually repair together. All the way to the top, they do. Is this way better? Oh, no. No, this way is better. Okay, so we're going to rename it to Carla something something. Token tax is voluntary, yet people pay it. Exactly, right? Like, if I made it mandatory, how many more people would pay? But is it worth... I mean, not that I can, by the way. I don't have the legal authority, let alone the moral or even the desire to force people to pay me money. Actually, no, I'm gonna make it required by force that people buy their Toy Cat, their December merch, but in January. Or in March, sorry. Although Christmas merch, but in January is catchier. I do have to say. Carla Faye Tucker. You've been telling me that a lot, Pookie Hounds. I don't know if you can see that. Also, there's at least one person who remembers from the live stream a few days ago. The live stream about funding you could see me. That's a good attitude to have, friend. That's a good attitude to have. So we combine this one with this one, and we call it Carla Faye Tucker. Let's do it. Carla... Oh god, wrong way. Okay, caps lock off. Carla Faye... I hope there's enough space for Tucker. Hey, there is. So it cost me an extra level. I spent what I basically spent right here was a Minecraft experience point. And in exchange for that Minecraft experience point, I got 20... I mean, again, I trust Poogie Helms because a long-term viewer. I got 20 US dollars, it sounds like. Was that a good trade-off, Internet? What do you think? Because now I've got myself a much better pickaxe that should instant mine as well. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Anyway, so what we're going to do, to get why mine ice when you can do literally anything else. The beautiful thing about Minecraft is you don't need a why. You just need an if. And the if is definitely here. So yeah, let's trade some pumpkins while we're here. I mean, some melons. Just to get some levels coming in. Oh yeah, well, I've been really working on the farms recently. I've been working on a dumb
Here's the $20 I promised plus $6 more to cover the 30 taken by the man. Also, Carla Faye Tucker killed a man and a woman, not 2 men. The state of Texas killed her back.
Hey, the death penalty, eh? See, right, that's death penalty. Okay, thank you so much, Pookie Hounds. So, but first of all, following their original word. Oh, wait, you know, like, there's no reason for them to stick to their word, right? They could have been like, haha, got me. Like, they had investment which made them less likely to. But it didn't mean they couldn't have done it. They could have totally just, you know, Pookie could have just been like, haha, tricked you, mum, you know, saved $26 by just not doing something. The only reason to do something is the honor or whatever, you know, you want to try and argue it is. But yeah, I could trust, but despite not having any legal or, you know, whatever reason to, I could trust her. Despite not being forced to do what she did there, somehow she did. Because there are lots of pressures besides just force and big air quotes. So yeah, death penalty is an interesting one, right? Because most places don't have the death penalty. The very few places that do, don't death penalty many people. I live in the UK. We've had the death penalty outlawed for 50 years now. I'm pretty glad about that decision personally. If you disagree, I'd love to hear your opinions on why. But yeah, so let's just throw melons. Just get rid of this stuff for now. I just want to free up some space for the good stuff. So yeah, basically most people, most places don't have the death penalty, and therefore, at least in the Western world that you are watching this video from, therefore most people agree on the stance that even though murdering criminals, therefore most people agree that murdering criminals isn't okay. Even though murder can be sometimes okay, we never trust our big bodies to do it, because even though it's right more often than it's wrong, it is sometimes wrong, right? Like, even though you want to kill whatever group of people, like no one's like anti-murdering, pedophiles or whatever else. Actually, I guess a lot of people are. But the bigger thing is people say you can't trust people with that power. We shouldn't have to. We just because we want to, it doesn't mean we should. I never got life in prison. What's the point of keeping someone alive if they'll never have any chance to contribute to society, says Status Bowser. Yeah, honestly, like, the problem is... Okay, can I talk about prison? Because it's something I'm passionate about, even though I think my opinions are quite controversial. The thing about prison to me is, like, if you have the concept of... I think the death penalty is unjust by itself, right? Like, I'm not a big believer in it. I see the logic in why you would be, but I think it's pretty one-dimensional logic. Like, it doesn't take you very far. It's just, they did a bad thing, we should kill them. What's the worst thing you can do to punish someone? Kill them. But I think when it comes to the best way to actually reform someone, you need them to have a reason to reform. Everything in life is about incentives and everything like that. One of the things I love is in Singapore, there is a fine, for instance, for spreading the current virus situation, and there's like money if you get it and you stay in quarantine. It's simple. Financial penalty for bad behavior, financial positive for good behavior. When you're in prison for life, there's basically no incentive to do anything good, reform yourself, etc. In Norway, even like the worst criminals, the max prison sentence you can have is like 23 years. And it always sounds like, haha, only 23 years, but what if you mass murder someone? It's like, it's still 23 years. I never understood that personally. Like, how, do these people really think 23 years is a short time? Oh, look how much faster it is. Chat, we are away from slow times and back into the fast ones. We suffered halfway through the stream, but now we are back to the speeds that we crave. But yeah, so if you want people to like, because also harsh punishments are meant to discourage people. Yeah, it's called a deterrent. There's like a theory you can have on this one, right? That either you have you can have a punishment that's designed to make a crime right. So I feel like civil court is pretty good at this. That like if you steal $10,000 from me, to be frank, or actually if you steal $26 from me, hypothetically, and then I go to court to sue you. The court will say, here is your $26, and we'll try to make you right for the time you lost trying to pursue it too. Like, they'll pay your attorney's fees or whatever, etc, etc, etc. Also, a death penalty would be a good Minecraft experiment, says Rick Hansen. You know what, let's do it. Let's do it. But like, when it comes to, like, certain levels of crime, you can't go beyond making things right. Like, how do you make it right when someone's had a family member lost? How do you make it right when someone has killed, 50 people in a mass, killing spree? You can't, is the simple answer. There's no way to make it right for the victims, so you might think, we've got to discourage it from happening in the first place. If you get into a situation where it's unmake-rightable, then it's a situation that you don't want to be in. It's a very logical, easy place to write. This is so satisfying, by the way. This is so good. I'm just enjoying myself. After being slow for so long, this is good. This is where I want to be. But like, you basically have to admit that you can't make it better. So then you're trying to make society better as a whole. If you can't fix it for the individuals, for the victims, you've got to fix society. And is society, then you've got to decide, is society better with that person dead, with that person locked away forever, you know, costing, by the way, the taxpayer a huge amount of money? Or is it better to try and make them a productive member of society? Because for the most part, 90-something% of humans, maybe less if you're a cynical person, add to society in some way. Even if you literally sit at home watching let's say you watch Toy Cat videos, or no, you watch Toy Cat videos and then you play Minecraft, and then you watch Toy Cat videos and you play Minecraft. You are adding things to the world and the economy and to the people in your life. Even if you don't know the value you add, you're adding value for the most part. Some number of people don't, but we should try to aim to have as many people be in that adding to the world thing as we can. Because the more you can add, the more people add to the world, the better world we have. Whereas the more people who are stuck in a prison, the more of a drain it is on everyone as a whole. And the problem is like the death penalty being a solution to like not killing people. I used to actually be like in favor of the death penalty as an option. Do you want to hear my this is vaguely political, but like I feel like prison is so separated from politics that like you can't tell if I'm like, you know, left, right, up, down. You know, maybe I'm a Nazi with this opinion. Who knows for sure? But I used to be like pro death penalty as an option because the scariest thing to me is a life in prison. Like I think a life in prison is so much worse as a punishment than the death penalty, because the death penalty is like, oh yeah, dead, gone, over. You know, you messed up, but at least it's a finite amount of punishment. I mean, I guess life sentence is technically a finite amount of punishment, but like, it's done very quickly. You know, it's a punishment that is very short. But also, what is happening here? Holy chat! Did you just see that? Did that just happen? What the? Are we gonna pretend that didn't? Can we? What the? Huh? Huh? This is a solo world, just to clarify. Okay, that's fine. That's normal. That's expected. Normal llama behavior. I don't even know what I just witnessed. I genuinely don't even know. On the subject, what's your opinion of... Oh, wait, by the way, just joined and we're talking about death penalty. Really confused, but happy to be here anyway. Hello, how was your day? My day went really well today, actually. I'm looking forward to it after this as well. I'm going to play some Animal Crossing and just kind of, like, chill out for a bit. It's something I think is important. Ronnie Shatteen says H. Also, William says, on that subject, what's your opinion of Blackstone's ratio? It's better that a guilty person's escape than one innocent person suffer. Oh, sorry, I missed that for a minute, by the way, William. But thank you very much for the Toy Cat tax. It means a lot to me. We need to empty our inventory. I really do believe that, like, the problem with killing, you know, a permanent solution to a temporary problem in the case of crime is that if you kill someone for good, you can't undo it.
Llama got the zoomies.
Llama got the zoomies. You know, I thought that when people called Gen Z Zoomers, that, you know, they were being figurative, but I guess they were just being literal. Thank you, Roni Shaheen. But, yeah, I do think it's totally true that, like, in theory, if you send me to prison for 20 years, in the UK, you pay, like, a certain amount of money per year. I will come out of prison a millionaire, which is, like, better than I'll be if I didn't go to prison. Like, it will suck that my life has been changed that way, but in theory, like, you know, you can kind of make it all okay in the end. But, by the way, I want to know, if we break the ice below the snow, where does the snow end up? Oh, it just turns into a snowball when it hits the water. Fun fact. Please stream Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing stream. I don't know how to stream it, though, because I figured, like, if I stream my first half an hour in the game, it'd be great. But if I stream it now, what would it even look like, you know? It'd just be, like, me running around picking up weeds all day. Like, is that what you want to watch, internet? Is that what you want to watch? The prison system is reformative, not just punitive. Punishing people will send them out still criminals. Teach them skills to become better people. The problem with prison is like fundamentally, do you believe people are good? Do you believe everyone has it within them to be a good person? Are people criminals because of circumstance or because they were destined to be that way? If there are some people who are doomed to be destined to be bad people, then, you know, you can't reform them. And if people are only going to prison because of their circumstance, not because of, you know, who they are or anything they've done, then why are they in prison anyway? If you admit that everyone is a good person who has just made mistakes, why are we sending people who have just made mistakes to a place for such a long time? It's a logic, like, it's never going to be a popular position that, especially to the victims of crime, because if you think about isolated, it's like, if you think about crimes as being against some parallel society, it's very easy to say, like, oh yeah, you know, like, people didn't really do too much wrong, they were just victims of being poor in their circumstance. But when you're talking about people who, you know, have lost, you know, members of their family or whatever, you can't just be like, haha, it's not real, which is why you have to have all these links of like, the only way to seem like you're reducing crime is to increase sentences for crime. People have a really bad grip on intuitive statistics. Actually, wait, right now? Do you want to... I was going to include this in a recent Geography of Toycat video, but let me just share it with you right now. Okay. Real quick. Garabo, thank you. Good, bad is subjective. And some acts in some form of self-interest. I think there are some objectively bad acts. There's no such thing as objectively good acts, but there's definitely objective bad. Mira Hindley. Thank you very much for that. By the way, does everyone like that my pickaxe is called Carla Faye Tucker? I don't get it. After the stream, I'm gonna like look into it. But yeah, basically, let me tell you about intuitive grasp on statistics, right? Because there's a billion examples of this. There's a different one every day. But people don't feel a decrease in crime. People don't feel when the crime rate goes down. People feel when the crime rate goes up, but not down. In the same way right now, you can now notice that like, oh yeah, celebrities are being infected with a disease. The number of people dying is actually like, it's gonna start hitting people in your life fairly soon, and then it will be real. Even if it's like your mother's cousin's friends, someone at your mate's work. When people in your circle are affected by something, it becomes real. And when this is why statistics are just so beyond us, because we're a species based on anecdote, because for most of human history we haven't had statistics to back things up. We haven't had real data and numbers, so we don't use it correctly. Is what I'm trying to say. So, for instance, in America, everyone says the most dangerous city is Chicago. This is just a widely known fact, and I think it is true that Chicago might have the most murders in America, but also like, you know, like, or like one of the most murders in America. But it has the most people, so you would expect that. If it didn't, then it would be safer than average. Is what I'm trying. You know, like, as unintuitive as that is, a place with a lot of people should have a lot of murders too, if there are murders to be had. Statistically, if a person is murdered and you don't know where in the world, if you guess the most popular city, you've got the best chance of guessing it. In the same way, no one is being murdered in your town because there just aren't many people, and when one person is murdered there, it's a huge deal. So just to prove this point, I have this these facts. I'll go back to whatever super chat showed up in a second. But hey, IBX Toycat, welcome back to Geography with Toycat. This is the weekly series where I show you geography video stuff. Anyway, so this is list of cities by murder rate, and everyone thinks Chicago is the most dangerous city, if not in America, then in one of the parts of the world. But if you look right here, it's like most dangerous cities. It's like Mexico, Venezuela, Mexico, Venezuela. But if we go to America, the most dangerous city per capita is St. Louis. 61 murders for every 100,000 people. That is huge when you think about that on a wider scale. If you look at like, oh yeah, what's this? Baltimore, it's 51 murders, you know, per 100,000 residents. You know, even like San Juan, which is part of what's it called, Puerto Rico. We got Detroit and we got New Orleans, which is an unexpected one. Chicago has a really low per capita murder rate because it has a lot of people. Lots of people means low per capita. You know, like lots of people. A few, like three murders a day is a tragedy, right? Like in some cases, but it's actually a really low amount when you have a high enough population. If you have 1 billion people in a country, for instance, like China does, it would be weird if no one got murdered in a day. That would be a miraculous thing. Murder rates are one example, but with anything, like when you're talking about tragedies that shouldn't happen very often, but with enough people you are, and it's a whole thing. Because it's even safer in most of those places. Like in the number one city, which is what is it? What was it? Cancun, I think. So yeah, Cancun is the 13th city on the list, or like Tijuana. Even in Tijuana, like even though the murder rate is super high, you're not going to be murdered because they're killing people. You know, like it's usually like gang related and like whatever. We could talk about statistics all day. Do you want to talk about statistics all day, internet? While we mine ice? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Should we just do that? That'd be real great. Crime density is based on population is what he's saying. Not just crime density, but density of pretty much anything. You can really closely correlate 1-to-1 with the size. Like, the density of anything good or anything bad gets higher as you have more people. Because more people is more stuff. And that's hard to, like, it's hard to, like, express so easily, but, like, where are the most watches in the world? In the, you know, actually, let's go easier. If we go with, like, if we assume New York is the biggest city in America, and by most metrics it is, in terms of population, where are the most iPhones in America? New York. Does that mean New York likes iPhones? No, it means that, you know, there are more people and the average doesn't vary by region. Also, don't live in a high crime area of London. Oh, my area is like super, like there are a lot of robberies. Actually, I feel real bad because there's a lot of robberies on my street. Like there was 6 in the last year, according to, there's like a police website in the UK. So there was 6 robberies in the last year. Because everyone's like locked down in their homes, you can't burgle house to house anymore. Like people who used to be able to like come in during the day and steal stuff, they can't do it anymore, and that's a tragedy, isn't it? Like, oh no, someone can't steal from you anymore. Those burglars, you know, they should be getting some disaster pay from the government because their profession's been destroyed. You can't break into anyone's house anymore. But yeah, so 76% of statistics are made up. I've heard it as 69% of statistics are BS, but you can say that however you like, I guess. But yeah, it's true regardless, right? That statistics are hard, and population density is the driver behind 99% of them. Oh, actually, you know what? This is the same with like if you look within the United States, for instance, about like, oh, where's all the you know, I don't know, where's all the corona whatever, you know, happening right now? If you look at it on a map, it's like, oh, it's all in California and New York and Washington and Illinois. But then if you actually like think about it, you're like, it's in all the places where all the people are. Like, most statistics can be explained by population density is what I'm trying to say. More people, more things. Any ridiculous statistic you can mention is going to be that. And that's what I'm saying, you know? That's what I'm saying. Even if a person a day got killed, the chance of being killed in population is 1 billion. Your chance of being killed is incredibly low. Yeah, exactly, Ronnie Shaheen. If there's 1 murder a day on Earth, then it's not a problem. If there's 1 murder a day on your street, that is a problem. Whereas if there are, you know, if there's like, I don't know, let's pick an example. If New York has a population of 8 million and your town has a population of 8,000, if New York had 50 murders a day and your town had 1 murder a day, New York would be so much safer per capita, which is what matters because we're talking about like, what are your odds? When you're talking about your odds of a thing, that's a thing. There are some things that matter in absolute terms, like, I don't know, I'd say like, to some extent, like money. Actually, not even then, right? Like, the amount of wealth a country has matters less than the wealth per person, in my opinion. Like, if a country has $1 trillion, that's great. But if, you know, like, I think what matters in the world is how much every individual person can have. 69% of percentages are false, even this one. I'm so shocked. So, Gat, props to you for making statistics so incredibly interesting, says Akina Ding. Honestly, how about unprops to your statistics teacher for not using murders as their main source of stats? I've had this video idea for a long time. Because Minecraft used to, every single year reveal the number of their statistics. In fact, they might do it this year, actually. So Minecraft reveals the stats on how many people have bought the game every year. So this year they'll announce they passed 200 million copies sold. I have no doubt. I'd love to see the stats of, like, if 200 million people play Minecraft, how many murderers have played Minecraft? How many people have played Minecraft that have since died? Stuff like that, you know? It'd be fascinating to know. I've never been so interested in statistics before, says Rose Heard. Hey, I actually have convinced someone. No, yeah, that's why statistics are interesting. Like, the statistics seem so inhuman, but the truth is they're inhuman in the good ways. Humans aren't a good source of information because when humans tell information, you have to falsify it in all sorts of different ways to make it real. Let me tell you a story from today. I didn't do anything interesting today, but I can falsify my day a little bit and make it interesting. Like, oh yeah, I woke up and... Oh no, it's like, I cooked pizza today. Like, it was a new pizza I hadn't tried before. And I burned the pizza incredibly badly, right? Like, I burned the pizza so badly that it was literally just a, you know, like a black Frisbee disc. Like, looked like Vanta Black. You know, it was, you know, it set off the fire alarm. It was a funny thing. No, I just burnt a pizza very slightly. The cheese was slightly black. It's not so exciting. It's the same effect. I did burn a pizza. I got the same information across. You're visualizing it differently, so it's arguably a lie in your head. But I mean, it's technically, it's a better story in that I conveyed my information, but also it's misleading. If I say to you, I have a friend who works in a supermarket, and I do, by the way. I have a friend who works in one of the UK supermarkets. Because, like, you know, right now, like, they have to, like, have a guy guard the toilet paper aisle. Because people are trying to go in there, you know, fighting to get more than one set of toilet paper per person. When these sorts of stories are, like, fascinating as the human angle of a very... But the statistics of, like, oh yeah, well, how much has, you know, toilet paper demand increased would be a much more... It would be a much better statistic to actually know about. Like, just because one store has one thing happen, it's not an actual indictment on the situation. It's useful because you happen to probably know lots of these other stories, and these stories combine together to form a picture in your mind. But you can't have the pictures in your mind come from stories. This is why governments don't work with stories from, you know, their constituents and stuff like that, unless they're trying to prove a point. Like, if you're making actual official decisions, you'll use statistics. A business will, you know, Apple will never be like, you know, iPhone sales are 26% down this year, but my cousin Steve, he says that the new iPhone is really cool, so the cool factor is up, boys. No, like, everything, like, that is successful in life works on statistics, and everything, even though most things that are catchy aren't based on statistics. Also, screw Vanta Black, screw Anish Kampur, look up Stuart Semple and Black 2.0. Toy Cat is burnt pizza. I've burnt pizzas so many times in my life. I have to admit, like, because like when it comes to like frozen pizzas, you can get them so cheap. At least in the UK, we have like good frozen pizza, and it's just like, why not burn it? You know, like, why not buy more pizza just so you can burn some, just so you can burn some. Honestly, a mildly burnt pizza is worse than a totally burnt one. I totally have a useless pizza and a good story than almost useless pizza and no story. I think I actually agree with that one. Yeah, like my pizza is like so worthless. It's just like, oh yeah, it was just not very good. It was bread and some cheese, and that is about it, you know. Anecdotal evidence is stinky. Damn straight it is. Damn straight it is. But the thing is, you still eat the pizza because it's pizza. That's the thing about pizza, right? Until it's literally inedible, all pizza is good pizza, and it's beautiful. That's what I love about pizza. It's one of the very few good things in life. One of the few things in life that, like, even when it's bad, it's still pretty good. Enderman there on the ice in the morning. Don't ask me how the Enderman got that ice. I mean, how the Enderman got on the ice. He's got some sand right now. I like the taste of burnt hamburgers. Oh, the burnt food is like some of the best stuff. Like, whenever I cook food, I always like go for extra effort to get the burnt out of it. Burnt food is good, and if you disagree, you are incorrect. I hate to break it to you. But yeah, so if someone in school asks me who my teacher is, I'll say toy cat. I mean, if you think about it, during the situation we're in right now, right? You need a teacher replacement while all this school shutdowns are happening. I'll teach you the real knowledge you need. You know what real knowledge do you need to learn about? Are we even real? You know, like this is what I was saying about like earlier. Also, thank you Umbro Gaming and Ronnie Shaheen. Kind of like I was talking about earlier with like if a teacher lies to you too much, you cease to believe it. Like the way you cried wolf. Also, Garibo, thank you. If lesbians love coffee, what do gay people like other than men? Honestly, my understanding of gay dudes is they're pretty simple. Like a lot of the crazy hassle around life is kind of just gone and replaced with like, oh yeah, everything's easy now. The correct term for burnt food is blackened. Oh, charred is the word. That's the one I'm looking for. I'll just say you're teaching my online math classes, says Mostly Ghostly. I always... Honestly, I think I would enjoy being a teacher a lot if it weren't for, like, kids. No offense, anyone who's school age right now. But objectively speaking, most of you are terrible. Objectively speaking. The only reason this is great is because if you're terrible, we can ban you and just, like, get rid of you. Like, if I was in a classroom, I'd want it to be one where I could be like, oh yeah, I don't want you anymore, so you're not. Because I think the reality is like, at some point along the way, you can see this with, in the UK. Schools are shut down besides essential workers' children. So, if you work for the NHS, which is obviously undergoing a lot of strain, who knows why that is, you can you know, go. You can have your children still go to school. So what you're saying by that is you're admitting that school is a daycare. Like that's a 100%. How is there a stone brick there? That is 100% admitting from the government, right? That school is just a way to keep you busy so your parents can go to work. Yeah, sure, you might learn something. That would be nice. But it's not the primary objective of school. Because if it was, then you could, you know, like, if the primary objective was learning, we could suspend learning for the next X amount of time. But no, the reason we can't suspend, you know, school for everyone is because there are some essential people going to the schools. And, you know, like, I'll say, basically, the problem with, and that's why I think the problem with school actually is, it's that it's a place you have to go to. And once you get there, there are people who enforce things on you, and you can't choose to leave or not be there or anything else like that. My school shut down. In the US, I've heard it's just like in complete shutdown, which I don't understand. Like, where do all the children go? Like, are they at home by themselves, or is everyone working? You know, I've got a billion questions about all of this. But if school was this place you actually wanted to go to, because there were things because every now and then I had a class about something and I was like, I want to learn more about that. No school ever tries to harvest those feelings, because the school as a business entity just gets paid based on the number of students they have. Their objective is to get more students in than they had before. Okay, you know, the teachers in this entity are just trying to get as many, you know, children to whatever grade. It doesn't matter how they have to do it. They don't want to foster the learning sense people. And then children are just there because their parents want to work, and, you know, they can work less if their children are, you know, causing a mess in the world. Teaching, like, schools are a place that exist in entirely the wrong mixture of circumstances. And I feel like to some extent, YouTube can fix that. If you watch educational channels, because there's so many out there, like, even, I wouldn't call myself an educational channel, but, like, if you learn a thing or two here, great, right? Because you want to. And, you know, like, you choose to be here, I choose for you to be here. It's a mutual relationship as opposed to a kind of messed up one, is what I'm trying to say. In the US, most people aren't working anymore. I don't think most people aren't working. I think a lot of people are out of work. Supposedly the most we've ever seen in, like, 1 month. But, like, anyway, it's a whole messy thing about how school could be improved. I don't know how I would personally fix it besides just... Because, like, now that the system is in place, like, oh yeah, we need to have that system of daycare. But, like, if it's going to be a daycare, make the lessons optional. Let people go to whichever ones they want. See how that goes, you know? Because I reckon it might go quite well. I reckon once people realize that this is a choice and not a forced thing, they do much better. So yeah, educational channels on YouTube, educational anything in your life. You can combine fun and education, and to some people that's mind-blowing because they're like, oh, I thought learning had to be boring. I've been lied to my whole life. And it's funny because it's totally, the fact that it's so common is kind of amusing. Also, there's loot under the sun, says someone. Is there? I feel lied to. I reckon that's just, I placed that forever ago and forgot about it. That's my official reckoning here. Yeah, there's there's blue ice down there, but not much else. Also, I'm not going to pay you since last the pocket. See, that's the... Thank you, Garibo, for the £1 super chat. In the US, if you're not working at a grocery store, hospital, or something in between, it's completely shut down. The only other exceptions are online jobs. Oh, really? That's... I can't imagine what that's like for a lot of people right now. I'm very sorry to anyone watching these videos who is in the situation of having your thing not be there anymore. But also thank you, Ronnie Shaheen. The cool thing about this very model, like this is if you say that like, oh yeah, so you know, school's garbage, you're not learning. This model, even though it's not directly funded by someone forcing lots of people to do certain things, it still works, right? Like this stream, I'll admit to you right now, like a lot of streamers just pretend like, oh yeah, I'm really poor, please donate money so I can eat. A lot of streamers will say that, and it's a good way to guilt you into giving them money. Like, I'm sure I could guilt a lot more money out of people if I was like, hey, like calling it donate
Good
instead
evening,
of tip.
Toy Cat. Thank you for the entertainment. I'm hiding from my family and watching you. My son's school has been out for a week and he's driving me crazy. Weary cat flushed face person face balming female sign.
Thank you so much, Jesslima. You caught me at the very tail end of a stream, actually. Sad fact. But it's good to see you anyway. Was very concerned there. I do to try and go back onto my topic though, because actually, you know, I was in a natural like transition away anyway. So let's transition to the idea of like you can have many things. Actually, wait. Instead of transitioning into like, let's talk about other streamers. You know, like there are lots of streamers right now. You know, maybe some of them are struggling. Maybe they had like a second job or something to get by. So let's not talk about that, just in case. Instead, let's talk about how you should give me your money. You might think, Toy Cat, nah, I don't want to give you my money. And I know, that's a compelling argument you've got right there. Because, you know, who wants to give internet people money? But I have something that's greater than you or I. I have something that's greater than any of us. Because, you know, if you go to the link in the description, and you just go to streamlabs.com/toycat/merch, you can find the greatest thing of all. That's right. It's Toycat Christmas merch, but it's March. At the end of March, we will be taking this down. Do you want it in black? Do you want it in white? Do you want it in sport grey? Do you want it in navy? Because you know what I think when I think Christmas? I think navy. Christmas merch, but in March. Only available until March ends, which is in a week and 2 days, apparently. Better get... Oh, it's 2 a.m., by the way. I need to get to sleep. You might say... Oh, also, by the way, it comes in hoodie form as well. Hoodies are more expensive to make, but it's a high-quality hoodie. Look at this. Christmas merch in March. What's the sort of thing you need when you're chilling inside? You need Christmas merch. That's what you need. Pick a number from 1 to 47, says Darcy. Random number 1 to 47, 31. There you go, Darcy. Are we doing magic now? I'm excited for magic. I want it less fluoro green. I think you need fluorescent green, right? You want like a nice strong green. If you're buying a Christmas thing in March, you're making a statement. You gotta stick with it. Have you taken the Myers-Briggs personality test thing? I'm not a big fan of personality tests or really any tests. Should we do an IQ test on stream? Do you think would that be fun, internet? Good evening. Here is your Toycat tax, says Emily Fellows. Hey, thank you very much for the Toycat tax, Emily Fellows. There are so many Emilys, and they don't even know about each other. Like, I am genuinely starting to think they're the same person. Because, like, they always come in, like... They're all similarly, like... Not a single Emily who is, you know, mean or impolite. They're all just like, hey, Toy Cat. Either Emily's are on average nicer people, or they're all the same person. Let's do the test. Okay, chat, do you want to see me... Okay, what's easier? How long does a Myers-Briggs personality... Actually, wait. Myers-Briggs. I'm going to see what the types... If they're not fun, I'm not doing them. Wait, I want to do a test. Oh, okay, okay. It's going to sort me into intuitive, extroverted, sensing, thinking, judging, perceiving, feeling, introverted.
Magic DX Cat.
Whoa! Whoa, did you guys just see that magic? Thank you so much, Darcy. I wonder what's going well in your life. I am very pleased about that one. Thank you so much, Darcy. Very appreciated, very appreciated. Your chat is just a Your chat wife is just a collective Emily. Honesty, right? You know, I honestly have yet to meet an unfriendly Emily. I have many Emilys that I have seen, and they've all been so nice. What about Hanukkah merch? We're gonna start selling Easter merch and Christmas, I'm thinking. That's my... Like, I might get some designed for, like, the August season. That might be a good idea. I feel like it's a good idea. Okay, let's do this. Let's find, like, an IQ test that we can take in, like, 10 minutes. Because everyone's always asking, like, Toy Cat, take an IQ test. I hate the idea, because I think they're dumb. I think IQ is dumb. It's gonna tell me a really high number, so I feel super good about myself. So, test guides IQ test. It's gonna measure. Okay, I just want a good one. Is there a fast complete IQ test? 3 smart cubes. Okay, this is gonna take 20 minutes, chat. Let's do it. It's we're gonna okay. Wait, we'll put some okay, scene but reverse, and then we'll take. Wait, I know what I can do here. I can do this internet. Okay, so we go here. Oh, I'm showing you something I shouldn't. Okay, so internet. I hate you. Toy Cat is nice as Emily. Oh, I found a mean Emily. Emily, why did you do this to me? Okay, so if we copy this. Okay, if we take this and we put it over here, down below this. Okay, so now I have to remember to remove this later. Now what I can do is I'm technically playing Minecraft still. This is a gaming stream and we can see what's happening, but also we can take a complete IQ test. Okay, let's take the test. I'm so big, by the way. I need to be smaller. You know what? This is the size I am for IQ tests, internet. And then if we don't see more chat, I guess we'll see less chat. Sorry, chat. I'm making you smaller. Actually, I can make you. No, let's do this. Car is to road. Should we try and get every answer wrong and see how low a score it gives me? Would you like that, internet? No, let's do this. Let's see. Chat, you're always calling me dumb or smart. This is gonna give me like 110, 120, so I feel smart. What's the odd one out? Exercise. What city's the odd one out? It'd be Frankfurt, because the other 3 are capital cities. A forest is to tree, as a tree is to either a jungle or an orchard. Either one's pretty easily... Oh no, wait, forest is the tree. As tree would be to leaf or plant, I guess. Almost like... Mistook that one. Thank you, Zakek. I'm also Emily. Let me make up for that other one, reading me one, and say that Toy Cat is very yes, Zik check. You know, Emily, your name is spelt very weirdly. I mean, like, not phonetics, sure. A rancher plans to add a post between every 2 posts of an open-ended straight fence. If he currently has 10 posts, how many does he need to instead? So he plans to add a post between every 2 posts of a straight fence. If he's got 10 and he needs to insert 1 between each, he's going to add 9 because there's 9 spaces in between that. Okay, which of the sequence... Oh, God. What... See, I never understand this, though. Which way round is it going? Is it going left to right, or is it going top to bottom? I wish it would explain, right? It just doesn't. So, based on this, you can see that, like, it's going X, and then it's going flippity, like Tetris piece. So it's not this, it's not that. It's either this or it's that. Statistically, probably not that, right? Like, I'm not gonna read into the question. I'm just gonna assume it's that, because there's 2 of those already. Although actually, like, if it's an X over there and it's rotating, I don't know anymore, internet. I don't like this question. It's a dumb question. Oh, the quest. I need to move the questions to the right. There you go. You can see them better now. So I'm already confused. The fence post problem. Did you get that one? Complete the series: English, French, Hindi, Arabic. This has got to be what, like? Oh, it's just languages. This question here is literally name a language. What a dumb question. I can't quantify how smart someone is with a number. No matter, no person is smarter than every person in every aspect. I agree with that, Roni. If you were to add all odd numbers between 1 and 11, the result would be... Okay, so you're adding an even number of odd numbers together. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So you could confirm that the result would be even because 2 odds make an even. So 6 odds make an even too. So that would be an even result. Emily was the 12th most popular name in 2018. Is there a lot of 2-year-olds watching my stream? Is that what you're saying? Okay, so which one's the odd one out, chat? I'm going to minimize myself a little bit. Which one is the odd one out here? So that, or that. These 3 are all... Oh, wait, actually, wait. So... Oh, this is a good question. Okay, I like this one. This is actually getting me thinking. So they're all the same but flipped, with the exception of one of these. Yeah, these 3 are all the same but rotated. This one is different. Yeah, this one would end up on the right, whereas everyone ends up on the left. When Jack, James, Jim, and Jane stand by age, Jack being the youngest stands first, while James brings up the rear. However, when they stand by height, Jim being the shortest stands first, while James comes to the 3rd spot. I'm going to go to sleep in Minecraft real quick. In both lines, Jane remains at the 2nd position. Who is immediately younger than Jane? So they all stand... This is a dumb question. I hate this a lot. You know what? This is why IQ tests are dumb. This is why real people don't take them. You can't work out intelligence by this logic parsing. Okay, so Jim is the shortest who stands first, which is irrelevant by that. Oh wait, when they stand up by height, Jim stands first. Well, James is the 3rd spot. No wait, Jack is the youngest. And okay. Wait. I don't understand any of I don't understand this question. I'm not a smart person. So who's immediately younger than James? So who's younger than James? If James James is the rear when they stand in order of age, which means that it would be the 3rd person in line, which has to be Jim, because Jack is the youngest and Jane is 2nd position in the line. Right? Right, internet? I think so. So if they're going by age, with Jack being the youngest first and James is in the rear, that's a simple question actually. It's got a lot of noise in there, but it's messing with you because otherwise it's fine. The day after tomorrow is 3 days before a Monday. What day is it today? So if the day after tomorrow is Monday, that means today it's a Saturday. No, wait, the day after tomorrow is 3 days before a Monday. Oh, that's easy. So it would be Friday. The day after tomorrow is Friday. It's a Wednesday today. That's a dumb question. Which of the figures shown completes the sequence? So there's 3 cubes there, 2 cubes there, 1 cube there, no cubes there. So the 3 goes to a 2 goes... I'm not seeing any other pattern here that I can easily combine together. Besides, it would have to be in the top right corner somewhere. So like, that is the most logical one I'm thinking of right now. Like they go up and to the right one. Yeah, like they all go up and to the right. So they're gonna end up there, I think. Probably. Has to be, I think. I don't understand what they're doing. Whatever. It's probably right. I left for a little bit, now there's an IQ test. Damn straight there is. And apparently everyone's watching still. That's a surprise. What is the next number in the series? 18, 13, 9, 6, 4. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 3. Easy. What's the odd one out? Because like you're removing 1 less each time. So this squiggles down then up then down. up then down, up then down. So it's this one that's the odd one out. Unless it's the rotation, but I doubt it's the rotation. Ganges is to India as Volga is to Russia. Again, this isn't IQ. If you don't know the river Volga is in Russia, you're not a dumb person. You don't have a low IQ. You just don't know that one dumb bit of trivia. When the figure on the left is folded at the dotted line, which shape does it produce? It produces this, but in reverse. So this. Yeah, I don't know how it could be. What is this question? Steam is to water as liquid is to. Steam to water as liquid is to. Gas? No. Yeah, I guess no, it'd have to be liquid to solid, right? No, wait, liquid to... I don't like this question. I don't like this question. Steam is to water. So, matter of state down as solid, liquid is to... it might be vapor. It's... Okay, wait, chat, can you just give me a clue? In America, do you call gases, like the three states of being, liquid, gas, solid? Because I think it's solid, because, like, steam turns into water when it gets cooled down, and a liquid turns into a solid if it freezes enough, right? Like, they're the 3 points of being. So I'm going to assume that you know, it's a solid. Okay, we all agree, chat. Thank you for giving me the IQ boost. Which of these figures completes the sequence? I've been not reading chat for anything besides that question, because it's just like, I wanted to check that in America, there's a lot of like weird scientific terms that stick. So, which of the figures shown below completes the sequence? That. I don't see it, chat. I'm not gonna check your answers. So, yeah, we're gonna okay, so there's like less complexity in each of these. So the least I don't see an easy way out. Like the curved lines go straight for some reason. So like it's all coming out of the same points. Is there like so there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nope, that's not either. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna guess it's that, but I really couldn't say. Can you do a personality test off this, please? I don't like personality. Someone said I should recheck 16. You fold that. Oh, yeah, that is dumb to think that it would fold diagonally. Oh, because it's not folding... Yeah. When you fold it diagonally, you'd get that. Oops. What's the next number in the series? 709, 1012. Oh, this is... I like this. Okay, so 709 to 1012 is add 303. The next one is add 303. The next one's add 303. Oh, it's just maths. So 1921, I want to say. I was expecting that'd be more fun. If 3 men can dig 6 trenches in 4 days, how many days would it take 24 trenches to be dug by 4 men? If 3 men dig 6 trenches in 4 days... Okay, so we'll just simplify that down to every man digs 2 trenches in 4 days. So if you want 24 trenches to be dug by 4 men, given that, bear in mind that a man digs 2 trenches in 4 days, or 1 trench in 2 days. So 4 men are digging 8 trenches every 4 men are digging 4 trenches every 2 days. So they need 6 times that, which is... No, wait. 4 men are digging 4 trenches. 4 men are digging 8 trenches in 4 days. So that means times that by 3, it's 12. Oh my god. That was actually more complex to get through. I guess it's a simple question, but like, I guess that messed with my mind more than it should have. Okay, so I guess it's going to be a straight line going. Okay, so wait. It's either that. I was going to say a straight line going up, but this is the one that makes sense to me. Because, oh wait, one line is... one line's moving 2 at a time, one line's moving 1 at a time. So one line's going to move up right there, and one line's going to move over there. Like, you get me? So we're going to have, I think it's going to be this. That's the easy answer, just to match that. But if we're thinking 2 separate clock hands that are moving at different speeds, then that's the one, I think. Unscramble the follow letters and choose a category in which it fits. Salatory. So Saturn okay, it's definitely not planet, so planet's out. Country with 2 A's in it. Alasturi. Astaruri. How is this IQ test? Talsaluri. Rulis I do actually see Australia in there, but I read it from chat. No, wait. Someone just said hello from Australia. Someone didn't say that they were... This is Australia by pure chance, I think. Yeah, Tiger Lily said, like, hello from Australia, and I think they were just, like, saying hi, popping into the stream. But you gave me the clue of this IQ test, so now it's going to be a fake answer anyway. What figure below completes the sentence? Sequence, sorry. I'm going to... Okay, so circle, triangle, circle, triangle of a circle. Circle, square, circle of a square. Square, triangle, square on the inside, square on the outside, triangle on the inside. So this one. That's easy. Missing number in the sequence would be 1 to 1, 8 to 4, 9 to 27, 64 to 16, 25 to 125. So this is the cube root of the cube power of 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 3, 4 to the power of 3, 4 to the power of 2, 5 to the power of 2, 5 to the power of 3, and then this is 7 to the power of 2, 7 to the power of 3. So what we want is 6 to the power of 3, 6 to the power of 2. So 216, 36. Or 316... Oh, no, it's going to be 36. So there we go. Which of the following cube is similar to the unfolded cube on the left? So, one... Oh, God. You want 1, 4, 2 to be on... They shouldn't... 1, 4, 2 can't all be visible at the same time. Okay, they're not all going to be. So they fold round. So, also, these 3 can't all be visible either. These 3, if they match, then we're good. Wait, let's just look at them one by one. Can 2, that, and that be on the same side? The answer is yes, actually. They can be on the same side. So this is a contender. Can 4, 1, and that be on the same side? They could, I think. Can 1, that, and that be on the same side? Yes. Can 4, 2, and that be on the same side? Yeah. Oh, no, wait. That'd be wrong. So it's not 4. I don't think. Can it be this one? Okay, so if you put the 4 and the 2 together... Oh, that goes on the wrong side there, so it's not that one. Because the 2 would be on the wrong side of the cube. To what you'd want. So, it's 2 or 3. Okay, so if 1 and 4 are next to each other, we have to go to stupid Minecraft again. Should we go to like a village or something? You know, let's do this. It's 2 or it's 3, internet. I can't decide. I can't visualize cubes, I guess is what I've learned from this. So the 4 and the 1, if they're folded all the way around, you'd have to have the 1 on the side and the 4 on the top. Yeah, it's got to be 2, I think. Oh, chat is saying 3. I disagree with you, chat. Yeah. I think chat's probably right, like enough people are saying it. I think it's going to be 2, though. So 188 525 135 is to rhyme as... What? Okay, so 18 would be R, 8 is H, 25 is Y, 13 is M, and 5 is E. So 18 is R. 5 is E. Reason. Yeah, then 1 is A. And then 19 is S. And then O would be 15. And then M would be 14. Yeah, that's going to be right. Which one's the odd one out? Aref, Tolup, Nusselv, Runa. So there's going to be some keying going on here, I guess. So there's 2 vowels, 2 vowels, 2 vowels, 2 vowels. The vowels are 2 apart there, 2 apart there, 3 apart there. Okay, that's not it. Okay, chat. I don't have an intuitive sense on this one. I would say that they're all pronounceable words besides nuisive, but that's the only thing I'm getting from this by looking at it. Aref, Tolup, maybe they're all like acronyms for words. I don't see it, you know. What do we got? Like, are they all acronyms? Like Sunev? No, I don't get it. Okay, we'll look at chat. Planets. Are they all scrambled? Oh, Earth, Pluto. Not a planet, by the way, so bad example, but whatever. How many triangles are there in this diagram? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then... Can you count that as 7? So I'm going to go 6, but maybe... I hate this one. I hate this. It can't be 6, apparently. So you've got to double count. Okay, so we go from 6 to 8 to 10. And then that also means we get to count... No, I count 10. Just by double counting all of those. And then if we go extra big... Is there a way to maybe... Oh, and then there's an extra 2 from that. It's 12. Oh, that was a close one. In a regular pentagon, how many lines are needed to connect every corner of every other corner? So there's 4 lines from the first, 3 from the second, 2 from the third, 1 from the fourth, 10 lines. A cross-section of a cylinder along its length has the shape of a... A cross-section of a cylinder along its length has the shape of a rectangle. Yeah, cylinder along its length. Oh, length, width, and height. So length would be along its... It'd be a... Wait, would it? I don't know what length means. We're going to go rectangle. Okay, chat, what's my IQ? Oh, yeah. My free test results are being processed. Are we going to learn that I'm the smartest person in the world? We are. Oh, yeah. Processing. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. No. Why did you do this to me? Ah, they tricked me. Okay, one sec. I'm going to... Okay, chat. They tricked me. The monsters. The monsters. I knew this would happen. I don't know. I should have seen it coming. Okay, I'm gonna sign up using a fake name. Okay, Bully McBulls email. Oh, IBX2cat. Wait, actually, I'll use one that I can. IBXtoycat@gmail.com. Never use that email. If you want to send me a message, send it to IBXtoycat. Toycat assistant, I think it is, at gmail.com. Age, 24 years old. Status, working full-time. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sign up for your first test now. Okay, my reports. Total test taken 2. I took 2 tests. Okay, chat. Good news. We got the report. We got the report is back. Seen but bigger. Oh, wrong one. Seen but reverse. Okay, I've got different names for these things. Chat, the IQ score came in. I am 147. I am highly intelligent. I have an IQ bordering on genius. In fact, certain types of intelligence may even be within the genius category. People with such an IQ generally do well in any walk of life. They constitute less than 22% of the general population. Yeah, that's me. Bonaparte Napoleon, less than me. I make him look like a dumb MFer. George W. Bush, Yeah, you're in the above average. No, thank you. JFK was only 100. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know how they're guessing these numbers. Below average, let's face it, you're not good at this, so we're having a bad day. Better luck next time. See, this IQ test is just here to make me feel good. I'm a genius. I'm not. One, that's not my accurate score. Two, there's testing goes only down to 90. They don't go below 90, which is super dumb. Should we try the same thing, but should we do it getting every question deliberately wrong? Yeah, exactly. Like, how do you get the IQ of Bonaparte Napoleon? It's dumb. So what we'll do instead is we'll retake, and we'll get every question wrong. Car is to road as train is to wheels. Which one's the odd one out? Hockey. Which one's the odd one out? London. Orchard. 20. It's probably not a square. Africa. Impossible to say. First one. Jack. Who's immediately younger than James? James is immediately younger than James. Checkmate. Test. And then it can't be this one, I think. It definitely is going to be a 1. The last one. Volgas in Mongolia. It's the same test, by the way. It's pretty embarrassing. Liquid is to snow. I don't know this one, actually. We might get this one wrong. So 6, 2118. This is pretty good stuff we're doing right here. Oh, please answer all the questions. We missed a question instead. I'm sorry. Which one did we miss? Did we miss one? Oh, if Monday's there for Wednesday, then it's Monday today, clearly. Okay, we go to next. We're going to go over the one that I definitely know is wrong. We're going to just go over circle, nothing inside of it. 316, 316. They don't even have multiple tests. That stinks. Yeah, this is so dumb, right? This is garbage. I'm proving it's garbage. Chat thought it was 3, so I'm gonna go 4 because I know it's not 4. So played. We're gonna go with RF. How many triangles are in this diagram? 9, 7, and it's definitely an oval. There we go. Finish. Oh, I missed the question again. How very embarrassing. You know, I can't even answer all the questions wrong. So this is a language, because Australia is a language, we've decided. Okay, chat. My free results are coming in the right way. 18 is still wrong. Yay, I got 90! Every single question was wrong. I answered that question, not just badly. I didn't just get statistically wrong. I had to get them wrong with malice, and it still gave me 90, which is I'm having a bad day. That's why IQ tests are garbage. They're just there to make you say you're Albert Einstein. Because if you get a test that says you're Albert Einstein, you're going to share this with your friends. But it's dumb. It's all dumb. You're dumb. I'm dumb. You watch that, and that makes you even more dumb than I am for taking it. So, checkmate, internet. Checkmate. Oh my god, it's 2:30 AM. How are you functioning? Oh god, I need to get to sleep. And by get to sleep, I mean play Animal Crossing and go to bed. Thank you very much for watching today's live stream. Thank you to all the people who came along and make this a thing. Because you know what? In this day of staying inside and doing stuff, I'm having a lot of fun. And I'm very fortunate to be in that position. And anyone else who's either fortunate or not fortunate, I really hope that everything goes well from here on out. Because you know what? It's all about believing, right? Definitely not about facts. Because that's what IQ tests will lead you to believe. Anyway, thank you very much. You know, it just makes you question, like, how many smart people are taking these online IQ tests? It can't be very many, right? A test is bad. A test is bad because I took it wrong on purpose. Good logic. I got every single question wrong. I got 0 out of 30. It said I was a 90 IQ. And bear in mind that, like, 40% of the population is below... I think not 30, like... So it's like 20-something % of the population is below a 90 IQ. It's like, well, that's clearly wrong, isn't it? Also, thanks so much, also Bacon. Intensity the highly considered declaring martial law. Also, thank you for the Toy Cat tax. I'm sorry to hear about martial law. You know, whenever I hear martial law, I'm like, oh no, Jackie Chan's gonna be in charge. And you know, I just hope that that's not true. But what I also hope is true is that you have a nice day, Blue, because your nickname's Blue now. All of my girlfriend members, because if you become a member, you be my girlfriend, are now Blue. Also, wait, gonna make another push because you know what you need to buy. If you're smart and have 140
Can I have
IQ,
cookie now? Smiley face.
you can have a cookie now. Do you know what smart people buy? They buy Christmas merch, but it's March. Christmas cat, oh Christmas cat. Available in XS, S, M, XL, and 2XL. All available for free on, I mean, they cost money, but all available for money on the IBX Toy Cat Streamlabs store. Link down below. Yeah, look at that. Self-promo. You thought this video was out of the good of my heart? I was doing this to sell Christmas merch in March, of which I've sold 2 copies so far, because I'm a merch salesman. I know how to sell things. I am good at this. $45. Okay, my stream crashed 30 seconds before I was due to just be done anyway, so very sorry about that. Big mistake. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this super long live stream that turns into a video because YouTube's a wacky platform. And have a nice day. Enjoy your rest because it's 2:30. I have a lot of fun here, but I abuse my body a little bit to do it. And I hope you appreciate that. And if you don't, well, I'm going to play Animal Crossing. So see you tomorrow for full boss run. Goodbye.